Da, 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 da. So, hello, you five people watching. There are two of us looking at you. How are you, Jenny?
I'm fine. How are you?
That sounded so fake. I don't believe it. I'm fine. How are you? It's like seriously strained. I kind of got out of my work rhythm
Mhm.
um from being off over the weekend because it was my first week of work last week. So I went into work today, and for the first like hour and a half, I was just like, uh, uh, uh. And then I got back into it and I was okay. So I think that'll stop once I'm there for a couple weeks. But it's so much. There's so much to do and so much to learn still and so much going on. It's, yeah.
Well,
But it's like ADD heaven, though.
how long were you? How long were you off?
Oh, I had the weekend off.
Oh, well,
So having 2 full days off kind of, yeah.
two days off and you lose it.
No, I didn't lose all of it. I just lost, like, I have a rhythm. Whenever I do a job that's okay, so one of the things I've been doing is they have all this paperwork stack like this. It was like this. I got it down. Like I've done like a third or, yeah, about a third of it. They
Mhm.
had this huge stack of paperwork from the previous practice that had to get scanned into the patients. And because they were so shorthanded for so long, it just kept stacking up. So they had a pile of faxes like this, and I did all of those because they were more important, and the other ones are just getting scanned into the charts. So there's still a good 10 or 11 inches of paper to I need to
All for
do.
scanning. Wow.
So I'm like answering phones, checking the incoming faxes on here, paper faxes here, and scheduling appointments and sending messages to the providers and faxing stuff for them, and it's just constant. I'm like this all day in a little. Like I just go back and forth. Got a straight line from my desk to the fax to the desk. So the girls that have been there for a while, they are doing like the insurance stuff and sending out records that need to be sent out because we have dozens of those requests in one day.
What kind of doctor's office?
It's a family practice.
Mm.
There's three female practitioners, and two of them are full time. One retired and just came back out of retirement. I guess she was bored, and so she works 3 days a week, well, kind of like 2.5 days a week, and the other two work pretty much full time. And they're amazing, though. Like I don't know who here's ever been around doctors. Doctors don't clean the toilets when they need to be cleaned. Doctors
Well,
don't mop floors when they need to be mopped.
why not?
They do where I work
Okay.
because they literally said none of us are beneath doing any of this, and we will
Cool.
all help each other out. And they mean it. So it's great.
That is rare.
It is. It's seriously like I walked in there with a shit ton of customer service experience, a little bit of office experience, no doctor office experience, and they said, "Okay, we're going to give you a chance." And they, Kevin, and so you're muted. Oh, there you go. Hey.
Sorry, I'm still in transit, so there's like 2 more minutes, but I'm here.
Oh, okay. No, cool. It's cool. I'm talking right now. Anyways, I'm in a mood tonight. So yeah. So I asked for $1 more an hour than what they gave me, and they said, well, since you don't have any experience here, let's try it out and see if this is going to work. And so they started me out $1 less than what I asked for, but I think once I hit the 30-day mark, they're going to give it to me anyways. Because I've been, busting my butt and all the patients. I'm going to brag. Yep, I'm going to brag. Everybody get ready. All the patients that have interacted with me for more than a hello have said something nice and said I helped them and They were stressed
Aw.
out and I made them feel better. I know, it makes me feel good. See, that's why I wanted to get back into the medical field some way, because I like to help people. In case someone didn't notice and figure that out about me, I like to help people, and it's
So
what makes me feel good. And what makes me, like, at the end of the day, I'm smiling. Even if my job was rough and the phone was ringing off the hook and emails were coming, in fact, all this shit was happening at once. It was, it's crazy there every day. But I come
what
home in a good mood because I get to do something good.
so do you wear like a nurse's uniform and white stockings and one of those white hats?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the dress, the white dress, Jenny. That's what No, I wear medium blue scrubs every day. I asked them what they wanted me to wear, and they said it was my choice. And I said, well, I have like 6 sets of scrubs from when I worked at CVS because I was doing COVID testing. So they gave us scrubs for that. So I just kept them. And she said, yeah, it's fine. You can wear that. So I just wear that every day. It's super comfortable. I put on sandals
Yeah,
with
scrubs are
the
cool.
closed toe, and I just put socks on underneath so it doesn't look like I'm barefoot.
The scrubs are
I'm
like
co-
wearing pajamas all day.
Yes, that's what it feels like. And the chair I have at work kind of sucks. It's supposed to be one of those ergonomic ones, but it's a poor design. And my boss said that chair sucks, doesn't it? And I said, yeah, and this was like the 3rd day I was there. I said, yeah, my ass is kind of sore right now. And so the next day, on Thursday, she brought me in her office and said, pick one of these chairs. Which one do you want? And I was like, that one looks nice. And it's like $250. She's like, all right. And she's like, purchase. Thanks. She's like, I want you to be comfortable. Okay, I'll take it, man. Yeah, so they have like the 401k match at 3% or 4 or something, and they do like they said that they would help me if I wanted to further my education, get more into it. So, which is yes, Cadence. This is my pussy. Isn't he cute? Anyway, so Kevin, what is new and improved?
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear all that.
Thank you.
My situation with work is significantly improved as well over the last month. So I'm doing really well with my new company. I called in today, and I went and got my COVID vaccine. So yeah, so I'm happy with that.
How you feeling so far?
So far, I'm good. A little sore, but nothing serious.
What time did you get it today? Well, because of course
Oh,
that
I
matters.
just got back. I got about an hour ago. So
Oh, okay. So we'll see how you're doing in about 10 hours then.
yeah.
Isn't that what they say? 12 to 24 hours. Is that what they told you?
Yeah,
That you
I
might
got
start
the,
getting
the
symptoms.
Johnson, the one dose, so they said it could be up to 48 hours, but
Okay.
usually I kind of just um I just whenever I'm sick, I usually kind of soldier through it anyway, so not expecting too much. We'll see.
So, Ox, I want to reply to this. The reason I would never went into nursing, I have one issue. It's not the blood. It's not the hours. It's not standing on your feet. Shit. All nurses start out by wiping people's asses. And I just can't do it. I will literally puke. I would just puke all night as I wipe asses. That would be my life.
That was my first
And I
legit
puke
job
because you
as an
puked.
adult.
Right.
I
And then
wasn't
the
a nurse, but
patient
I was an
pukes, and then you
in-home.
puke, and then the patient pukes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was gonna say I wasn't a nurse. I was an in-home service healthcare provider, but kind of similar job description, but we got paid less. That was one of my first jobs. I had to bathe a gentleman and change his underwear and stuff. He couldn't do
Right.
all that himself. So
Right. Ox also got the one day, said joint pay for a day and a half, but that's it. That's not bad.
yeah,
My
not bad.
my bosses are gonna have everybody else is vaccinated in the office except for me. And then I said, I don't even know where to get it. And I was kind of, because they said, how do you feel about it? And I said, well, I don't mind taking it, but honestly, it rolled out kind of quick, and so I was waiting for other people to be guinea pigs, and they laughed. And I said, I'm just being honest, like, I don't ever do vaccines. I don't do any vaccines because one, I don't ever live with anybody. Once in a while, my kid, and two, I never get anything. I'm never sick. So I avoid people anyways in public. I don't want to stand up close to anybody. 6 feet's minimum for me before COVID. So, you know, so I never get any vaccines. So I just have such a good system going here. I'm afraid if I stick some vaccine in there, my body's gonna be like, what the, you know? So I'm gonna get mine done on a Friday, so I have the whole weekend to recuperate.
Yeah, I
Or
hear that.
maybe,
I'm pretty much the same way.
maybe Thursday evening at the end of the day, maybe. So by the time the symptoms hit, I still have 2 days after that. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gotten like a flu shot since my daughter was a newborn, which has been 14 years or 13 and a half years ago now. So, um, yeah, I usually have a pretty good immune system, but I figured at least with this one, since we've all probably been mildly exposed, just get the one inoculation, and then I'm not gonna be going back yearly or anything unless there's some kind of issue.
Well, and the other thing, yes, Tubian, I too was social distancing before it was cool. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Carry on. I forgot what I was gonna say. It'll come to me in a minute.
We were kind of talking about not necessarily needing too much, like as far as inoculation goes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say.
People with healthier immune systems, I guess. Younger people, I'm still in my early 30s, so I don't.
Yeah.
I just stress on spreading it to people more than actually getting it myself.
Oh, I was gonna say, when I did the COVID testing, we had to test ourselves. And another company came in once a week and tested us. So we got tested 4 days a week, 3 rapid and 1 PCR every week for almost 2 months. And I really don't do anything different now than I did then. So I don't worry too much about. I don't know. I just think if something ain't broke, don't fix it. So I don't know. Like I kind of do what my body needs. That's what I do. And my body has never needed it. When I went in the Army, they gave me the pneumatic in a line, all the vaccines for everything. So yeah, so I haven't even had the flu in 8 years. Since I've had the flu, that was 8 years ago, I've had like 5 or 6 sinus infections from my allergies. That's all that ever goes wrong with me.
Yeah, I have the same thing. There's terrible sinuses. That it runs in my family too. So yeah, it doesn't matter what I do as far as that goes.
Here's a funny story. When I was a kid, from the time I was born, because I used to sleep with our cat, and apparently that cat I was highly allergic to, and so every night my eyelids would glue together with that mucus crap that comes out of your eyes when your eyes weep from allergies. And I'd wake up in the morning, and I remember waking up and crying. I was like 2 years old, maybe 2.5. And I remember waking up crying and screaming, and my mom came in there and she took me in the bathroom and she cleaned my eyes. I remember like my eyes starting to open because they were so covered in mucus. And it was so common that by the time I was maybe like 2 months after this started happening or something, I just started getting up myself in the middle of the night and going, and she'd leave a face cloth on the side of the sink. I'd feel my way to the bathroom, get a face cloth. Like, I'm telling you, I was born independent. And I'd put it underneath the hot water and soak my eyes and wipe them off, go back to bed, get up in the morning, do it one more time. Like it was like a routine for me for the time that we had that cat. So
That's intense.
Yeah.
I never had it that bad with pets. Mostly I'm like sensitive to pollen and stuff like that. But when I was a kid, I had a really bad infection. It was a sinus/ear infection. It spread all the way through my face, and they had to take out my tonsils and put like tubes into my ears and all this crazy stuff. It was a pretty big operation, but
Damn.
yeah, ever since then, I've never gotten bad infections like that, but I'm just super sensitive around this time of year, like spring, summertime.
I've known lots of people who, when their kids were little, and now these kids are probably 10 to 20 years old that I'm talking about. That when the kids were little and toddlers, they had to take them and get like tubes and stuff put in their ears because of that. They had all kinds of crap going on, and things weren't draining right. And the only thing I have that reoccurs besides my normal mental issues with like PTSD, anxiety, blah 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 blah, and all the other initials, is wow. Every time I look at the chat, I get distracted, and I don't know what the hell I was going to say. I'm gonna have to ignore you guys. Oh, I'm
Given all
getting
the-
into what they're all saying.
I'm not allergic to anything, well, except Republicans.
Oh God, we're all allergic to those.
Yeah,
They're
they can
horrible.
put me into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, they just get near me and I start twitching. You know.
The
Oh.
funniest thing, even to this day, the Republicans I know, they still want to buddy up with me, even doing this. Like they're still like, hey man, we're still friends, right? I'm like, well, sort of. I don't know. I don't really like you that much.
Fact.
I
go
can't. I
ahead.
cannot have a relationship with somebody who supports the Republican Party. They're, well, they do some good things. No, they don't.
I'm going to tell you
for people. They only do things for corporations, and they're
money.
based on hate, and they always have been.
Everything's based on money. Yes, money, and the reason they hate is because they don't want to give up their money. It's all money, all of it.
The Republican Party was founded for very good reasons at a very terrible time in the country, and they were liberal or progressive for the time, and did some good things. Abraham Lincoln, blah blah blah. But
right.
by time the 20th century came around, they were absolutely horrible, and only interested in corporations and money and
yeah.
There is a strange dynamic there though, because yeah, I mean, by and large, the party they're based they are capitalist, but especially like a guy that I know who I've been trying to get on my podcast for a while. He is not what you would expect. The guy is he's an ex-convict. He's very he's not rich, he's poor white trash for all intents and purposes. But the guy still supported Trump. He still they still have this mentality like, oh well, if we support these guys, they're gonna make us money. You know what I mean? Somehow they think they're going to be enriched by it. It's weird.
And it is weird because, all they have to do is look at what each president does. You get a Republican in, and they cut back taxes on the wealthy, and we get overtaxed on shit, and our school system gets more money removed from it, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Well, honestly, I don't even trust the Democrats either. I don't trust anybody. If your name ends in politician, and you've been in it for more than a couple of years, and you're moving up, that means that somebody's got their hand in your pocket, or you got your dick in someone's something. Something's going on.
Actually, I think the most credible politicians at this point are the ones that are labeled crazy by all the other ones, like Bernie Sanders, like AOC. Like every time all the other politicians come out against them, they're probably actually on a progressive path.
Yeah, it's because that's exactly what it is. When you think outside the box and you say, hey, we've been doing it this way for so long, and this isn't working. It worked 100 years ago, but this isn't 100 years ago. It doesn't work today. And you try to change something, you'll find the assholes real quick because they will fight you. They will fight you tooth and nail because they have everything set in the system the way they want. So they profit and they do good and they, and we do all the work and we, that's just how it works. And it's everywhere and everything.
So, do either of you have an opinion as far as like socialism? I know that's a big trigger word right now. Well, it has been. This is kind of this American ideal of the democracy and stuff.
Let me say, I honestly do. I know the basis of it. I don't know a lot about one thing. I have skimmed the surface of everything. So I know enough about it to I know the general idea behind it, general facets. And
Socialism is
for the most part, I agree with it.
Socialism is a non-starter. Democratic socialism or social democracy, however you want to say it, is perfectly valid and does work. And it's working in many countries in the world, like in Europe. And it's something that the United States is edging towards and has been doing that for over 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is very many things about our country and our government that are very socialist. Things like, let's see, roads, schools, police, fire, and all these kinds of things that
like our infrastructure,
what the city does for us and stuff like that. Yeah. This is what socialism does. Now, when people go around and they say socialism, they're Republicans who are just trying to hark back onto the 50s and communism and the Red Menace and all that bullshit. Let's put God in the national anthem and everything will be better. Kind of stupidity. So yeah, AOC is right, and we should be working towards a more socialist government, including things like healthcare, and probably, and I'm not so sure about this because I don't know how it would work. Universal basic income,
right?
But capitalism is an experiment, just like socialism was. Capitalism is an experiment, and the experiment is proving to not work. And so it needs to be modified. Socialism did not work, so it needed to be modified, and hence we have democratic socialism. It's time for capitalism to start to modify itself to meet democratic socialism somewhere in the middle.
Oh, God. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
Can't we all just get along?
It actually would.
Can't we all just... I've been saying that for I don't know how many years. That's the biggest problem we have is that divide. If the whole country well, never mind. We've already discussed that. Go ahead, Jenny.
No, I'm done.
Well,
okay.
On that note, yeah, it's telling like none of these ideas, none of these systems, they don't exist. They're not mutually exclusive to one another, right? Like anytime you kind of try to prop one up and the other side of the system fails, that's when you see the inequity, right? Like that's why I mean capitalism can function as long as you still have these social programs that prop up the other side. Like so, it's not anytime they try to just simply exclude it as communism, as socialism, and exclude those ideas. It's dishonest, but it's also counterproductive. Like we have to be able to make these ideas function cohesively together.
There you go again. There you go again with that together shit. Oh, thanks for everybody for coming in. Hi, Maya, Shan, and Tubian, and all you crazy people. Go ahead.
All the beautiful people are here.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see the comments, so but no, I think Jenny's breakdown was perfect, and like she said, I don't think there's any reason that democratic socialism shouldn't be like, a viable option, a third party option here in the States. It's, the ridicule kind of sometimes it angers me. I really do want to argue with people on that. Because there are some people, like you said, they'll say, look at China, look at Russia, look at, and no, there's no reason that we have to digress back to the past systems that have failed.
Right.
It's something to build upon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of failing. I just, I don't understand how the government could know so much about, they're supposed to know, they know everything. That's the government. They're in charge of everything. They know everything. And
Yeah,
yet they keep repeating the same shit that the fucking asshole a few years before him did over and over and over again.
It's because politicians know damn well that they can fool the public, that they can dupe the public into whatever they want, and
Yeah.
they will do that just to get elected. Their job is to get elected, not to take care of the country. And,
right.
And until we get money, until we get capitalism out of our elections, it's never going to get better. Never.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. There shouldn't be, it shouldn't be a large financial incentive just to hold a public office. Like if you do well, obviously there should be incentives, but prior to that, it shouldn't be like, oh, this is a great job, I just like, that's just like any other job, and you have a much more important position of power going on than getting a job at Target or something.
Well, the thing about the presidency is, the paycheck's pretty good. It's not big, but it's pretty fucking good. And it's all about that power. But I think that they should find the I don't want to say minimum wage because it depends on where you live, right? a town 2 hours south of me, they make $3 less an hour minimum wage because their cost of living is way less than ours. So I would say the average, take the U.S. minimum wage everywhere, find an average, pay the president that, because the bottom line is he gets everything paid for him while he's president. Everything. He doesn't need that fucking paycheck. And if somebody's trying to make fucking money off of it, making more money than they did as a congressman for $50,000 a year or whatever they're doing, then fuck it. You let them know what it's like to have that paycheck. I think it would humble them a little bit and maybe open their fucking eyes what it's like to work for $10 an hour or whatever the average would be. It's probably around 10 or 11.
Yeah, well, let's not
Nobody
forget.
can survive off
Every
of that shit.
president in history has been a person with money. They have been independently wealthy prior to coming into power. So that's really important to. We should never.
That's one of the things. If all of them have money, they don't need. Why are we paying them when they're living for free? I think it's fucking stupid. We give them everything.
To make it even worse, kids, and most people have no idea that this is true. Every congressperson, senator or representative, doesn't matter, has certain election laws or that regulations that allow them to have a fund to collect money in that they get to keep one day.
Right.
And where the money comes from for this fund is not regulated at all. Okay. And this is what makes these fuckers rich is this fund of theirs. And each one manages their own, but every one of them's got it, including AOC. She will have a lot of money at some point. And it's a huge incentive. It's a huge incentive to keep running for office. You get to just collect as much money as you want for free for yourself. I can't think of a better reason to not do it. And then even if they've only been an elected official for like 5 years, 10 years, they still get a big fat pension.
Yep. And someone to watch their ass. And yes, they could decline Secret Service. They have that option to do that.
No. the president will get Secret Service. Nobody else does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The president. I was talking about the president. Oh, yeah. But you know, if
Yeah,
you're somebody
I
like
think we all
Trump
have.
and you decline the Secret Service, how stupid are you? Because there's a lot of motherfuckers that would like to take him out, and I don't mean to lunch.
Well, I mean, you can hire a private security firm, obviously, for that type of thing, and I think that most presidents probably should. But as far as I think for senators and Congress people, if there is any legitimate threat of danger, they have an option. They can get guards through their local municipalities, bodyguards and stuff like that. So it's not.
Yeah.
I think it's just they have to kind of legitimize that there is a threat.
Fair
Plus,
enough.
if they hadn't been such pricks to begin with. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck it.
So, Kevin, I know you can't see this, so I'm going to read it out. Maya says, I think all members of Congress should make the median salary for their state. If they want to raise, they'll actually do something for everyone around them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
That's
that
excellent.
no elected official should ever get a raise unless they raise minimum wage too, and a similar percentage, whatever that is.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Because, you know, they get raises all the time. Like Harmonica Man said, last time I heard it was, what did he say, 125,000. And Maya said, no, it's up to 174 now
What, for a senator?
for a congressman.
No, I think senators make 174. Congressmen, I think, are less.
Oh, okay. Well, I think maybe one was talking about one and one was talking about the other. Anyway, but still, that's a lot of money considering they don't spend all their time at the Senate.
Oh no, they don't. They don't. But I don't have a problem with that because I understand the job demands it. You are having to be responsible for wherever you're from, plus what you have to do in Washington. You have to travel. I don't have a problem with those guys getting that covered, that expense covered. Although if they're all taking first class, that's a bunch of bullshit. They should take coach just like everyone else.
Yes.
And that I'll pay for. First class, I don't want to pay for. So there should be perks to the job. I mean, there's a perk to every job, especially the higher end jobs. And you're not going to attract people to those jobs if you don't offer them perks and things. So,
well, see, the point I'm making though is I think they should get just enough to live for wherever they live. And yes, expenses should be taken into account. They should be reimbursed or paid for or whatever. I agree with that because it is a high end position. But if they make more than the people underneath of them, they're not going to care about those people underneath of them. That's the problem I have.
A big problem you
And
have
if
with
they really
those
want to
guys-
make a change and they want to be a good politician, they'll take the lower pay just for the chance to make a fucking difference. And you'll weed out a lot of bullshit. Go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you're good. It's weird. It's a weird position to be in when you're elected locally as a state representative, but you're in a federal position, right? That's kind of the catch-22 there. Like all of those people are federal employees, but they are elected by their locality, right? And so it doesn't matter what we think here in California about the governor of Arkansas. We can talk about it all day, but we're not in that voter base, right? So
Right.
it gets kind of muddy there. And if if we're all paying these federal tax dollars, if these federal officials are not doing, if anybody is not objectively doing well at their job, they're not going to get a raise. They're not going to get the perks. They may even be fired. But we actually don't have the power in that sense, right? Like that's up to the people of, I don't remember what state I used as an example, Arkansas, Georgia, one of those, that's up
Yeah.
to those people. We can only kind of, hash out our ideas from afar, and we have no power in what goes on in those elections
Right.
other than using our voices. But at the same time, we are still paying those people's salaries as federal taxpayers. It's a really weird kind of dynamic.
Maya says, I would agree with the base wage plus travel costs. They should take the Trump Hotel and make it a congressional hotel for congressmen that can't afford to buy a house in the area. I like it. I like it. Maya always has good ideas, though. Every time.
Yeah, she's an amazing mind.
Yeah, that's for sure. She'll be in my side chat and she just won't come on anymore. She doesn't love me. I feel neglected. No, I don't. I'm good. Just kidding, Maya. Yeah, no, we definitely need to do a lot of change. And the one thing I keep saying is if we as the United States dispelled all racism and all hate, let's say that happened, then we could actually all get together and make a fucking difference. They don't want us to go get along because we can stomp their ass and they know it.
Well,
we have that right.
Back in Wisconsin, oh God, how long ago was it now? 10, 15 years. We had this prick governor, Scott Walker, and he was, of course, typical Republican, anti-union, anti-people, anti-love, anti-compassion, you know, and he and his bastards in the state legislature, which is all Republican, ramrodded through their favorite bills to start destroying the teachers union and public workers unions and ruining their pensions and all kinds of things. Even though in Wisconsin, the pension is one of the only solid state pension systems in the country. Okay. And the Republicans there were screaming and yelling about how it needs to be ended because it's so terrible and horrible. And that's a complete fallacy. So anyways, these guys are just trying to fuck up everything. And the citizens decided to protest. And over the span of a couple of days in fucking January, we got 150,000 people to crowd around the Capitol building and plug the entire city of Madison protesting. I mean, it was clear
That's
that there was
awesome.
a majority that are saying, don't do this. Well, they did it anyways. And in an interview, which he didn't know was being taped, he was asked what their strategy is. And he says, oh, well, that's simple. We're going to divide and conquer.
Oh, wow.
And that's exactly
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, yeah. It's a great story. They put him up for a recall election twice. And he snuck through. And then he was finally de-elected this last term. And Tony Evers, Democrat, is now governor.
Wow.
But the legislature is still Republican, so Tony can't get anything done.
Of course.
Vanta Blue said, I heard about Walker on the radio over here. Real scumbag.
Yep.
Yeah, we see a lot of that here in California. As far as, you know, we have many progressive bills, but of course, every year I'll see on the ballot, and they always frame it in such a way. They say, well, we're going to save taxpayers, you know, X amount of money every year. That's how they always frame it. But then when they see, oh, we're cutting the teachers fund, we're cutting public works, and I will always, you know, no. Anytime they say, well, you give more money to schools and housing for housing opportunities, I say yes. You know, and our taxes are already pretty exorbitant, but I see the way they try to word that, and we have a pretty significant kind of underground conservative initiative going on over here. It's not really, I don't think, highly publicized, but there's a significant movement for what they call the state of Jefferson. Essentially, Northern California wants to secede from Southern California. So yeah, we've been dealing with that for many years now.
Huh. What started all that?
It's actually a really old concept. They wanted to do it back in, I think, the late 1800s, and it failed when they went to ratify it. And they've kind of brought it back over the last 20, 30 years. It started around the time, it started around the first Jerry Brown administration, and then it kind of died out, and it came back when we elected Gray Davis, and we had the water crisis back in the early 2000s, if you remember that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which he got screwed on so bad. Like, how dare you hold any elected official? I don't care what party they're from. liable in their job for the weather.
Yeah, yeah.
You made it rain, damn it. That's it. You're out of here. What the fuck? Wow. So that's what happened? Like, what exactly happened with it then? Was it...
So there's this really large conspiracy theory now. Essentially, we've funneled water because we have a pretty abundant water supply in the north from Mount Shasta and other places, and so we've been able to pipeline that water down south. And so now, because we made this deal, this kind of within our state, so now they have water conservation in the north. They say, well, we have plenty of water. Why do we have to conserve?
Right.
We're selling this water to these places down south who are in dire straits, and they apparently disagree with these choices that have been made on the legislative level. So yeah, it's grown out of that. There's all kinds of other issues. I mean, there's plenty of like racism and homophobia going on there too, because of course San Francisco and LA, they're just filthy places with, all kinds of people that are undesirable to these conservatives. So that's why they all kind of flee to the north before they just leave the state entirely.
Well, fact of the matter is, the bigger your city becomes, the more trash will end up there. Like homeless people, drug addicts, the ones that are living on the streets, the ones that are stealing shit every day. The bigger the city get, the more you get that. And those
The
fucking
other
cities
thing
are
we have here
way,
is
way packed. Both
our
of them.
real crisis that they keep trying to sweep under the rug. It's getting a lot more attention is the housing crisis, and it's true. You can work two jobs and still not be able to afford an apartment for yourself here. It's insane.
I'm going to tell
I'm
you,
fortunate enough that I rent
I couldn't
with
afford a studio apartment here. I couldn't.
yeah. Where are you again?
I'm in
What
northern
state?
New Mexico.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, we're kind of in a similar situation there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't. I literally pay with paying for the spot I parked my tiny home in and paying on the personal loan that I took out to build my tiny home. And paying for those every month is still $150 less than a studio apartment here.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
I couldn't pay out an extra $150 a month. I couldn't do that. Yeah, it is crazy. It really is.
There is going to be a major crash in the economy, and it's not going to be anybody's fault. It's except for the pandemic. With people, so many people being suddenly out of work through no choice or fault of their own, who can't pay rent, and the government passing a law that says, okay, no rent, then and we'll have a moratorium. There's going to be a whole bunch of insolvent landlords real soon. Okay, these guys have to pay the bank. Okay,
Yep.
and the bank's got to pay somebody else who they got the money from. You can't just interrupt one span of the chain and think everything else is going to be okay. You have to halt the entire chain, and that's what they failed in doing. And the insolvent landlords are going to start to collapse. They're going to start to lose their properties. There's going to be people out on the streets because of it.
Yep.
And people who are paying their rent even. And it's just going to be a major.
I mean, you can also throw into that the people that the mom and pop establishments, restaurants, and convenience stores and whatever else. If people started buying everything online, they're not going in those stores and shopping. Those people they're closing their businesses down.
There's like 30% of the small businesses have closed permanently already.
Yeah. It's insane.
And it's all because they tried to stop one link of the chain, not the whole thing.
Yep.
They should have clamped a moratorium on everybody, that nobody has to pay anything until they get reemployed. And nobody, and that includes small business paying back loans, that includes house loans, business loans, all the loans. Nobody pays, or everybody's going to get fucked. And they chose not to, and now everybody's going to get fucked. I get it less than a year.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it a bit.
and nobody's talking about it.
See, Maya said, yes, the housing crisis in Cali is insane. And she wishes Sewing was here because he knows more, but I'm really surprised they're not doing anything about it. Never says, I wouldn't have
It's
been
not for a
walking
lack
away
of
with it.
trying.
I wouldn't have been walking away with a cool million in profit if I'd stayed here in '98 and sold today, and that's just a 2-bedroom cottage built in 1914. Yep.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And you know, the strange thing is that people are saying that it's hard to find properties right now to buy. But I guarantee you by the end of this year, the housing market's going to be flooded and everything's going to be dirt cheap because they're going to have to lower the price to sell.
It's
Well,
going
we
to
have.
be dirt cheap
I'm
because
in the.
nobody's going to have any money to buy anything. Supply and demand.
Yeah, I'm in the capital city here in Sacramento, and we're experiencing a really unique kind of boom. Basically, people now who are working from home over the past year have decided they could sell their homes in the Bay Area around San Francisco and come to Sacramento where the price is much cheaper, right? But in turn, that has actually driven our real estate prices way up.
Yep.
So it's a really unique kind of situation.
Right. Right. Yeah, you know, that's the thing is I looked at property around here just for the hell of it, you know, when I first moved here, and to see if I wanted to buy like a little piece with some electric and water on it, which is whoo, once that electric and water is on it, boy, does the price go up. But I feel like the prices haven't changed in a year and a half. And I moved here 4 months before COVID started. Like really.
Well, what's going on is that the prices haven't risen yet, but people are getting their full asking price plus perks.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so the economy is a little bit underground right now with that, but prices are going to go up.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, they have to.
Yeah. Yep. Got to pay them bills, baby.
And businesses all over the country are taking this as an opportunity to raise their prices, whether they need to or not. That all they have to do is point and say pandemic, and everybody says, "Oh yeah, well, okay, I understand." You know, why are food prices going up? What is
Right.
it about the pandemic that caused that?
Well, see, one of the things I heard that actually had an effect on that was like truck drivers and stuff coming down with COVID and COVID going through the warehouses, and that affected a lot of shit. You know, you take down, let's say
but prices are going
let's say
up.
one truck driver doesn't deliver his load for the week. That's thousands of people without like toilet paper. You know, one guy. But well, I'm sorry. What did you say, Jenny?
The prices are going up way over the rate of inflation.
Oh yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
like 2-3 times I hear in some cases.
Yeah.
A lot of this is just fucking greed.
Oh, I agree.
They're using the pandemic as their opportunity to bleed their fellow citizens.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, the reason your housing is such the housing crisis exists in California is because of all the goddamn speculators who go and buy and fix up this place and sell it for an inordinate amount of money over what they paid and invested for repairs and stuff. You know, the flippers don't care who they fuck, but they're fucking every neighborhood they touch. And you combine that with the gentrification that's going on, as promoted by our city governments and stuff, and really is going to be a serious housing crisis. It's unavoidable at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how the laws work in other states, but here in California, we have another situation with landlords where I've known actually a couple of family members of mine have invested in real estate, and what happens is they get themselves into these many home loans and mortgages to try and take out these rental properties, thinking they're going to make a profit. And you know, for whatever reason, that doesn't work out for them. Well, they don't actually have the money to cover it. They end up in way more debt. So there's this kind of scam going on. We'll say, hey, we'll get you involved in real estate. Come to our little seminar here. I know that happens kind of everywhere. And then they get these independent investors who end up really getting the shaft at the end of the day. But it screws a lot of tenants as well.
The Great Depression of the 30s was caused by speculation. People were speculating on stocks going up, this and that, and so they started taking loans like crazy from banks to buy stocks. And when the stocks didn't go up and things actually went down, everybody panicked. So suddenly everybody started to sell. So, and all of a sudden, bang! You got a crash.
Holy
all the banks are out of money too, and now all the stocks are down, and everybody's jumping out of windows. Well, that's exactly the same behavior that caused the recession of 2008. Okay, was speculation in real estate, and loan costs and this sort of thing on the part of hedge fund guys and the big AIGs and those kind of folks. And it was covered over by the bullshit from Price Waterhouse and those sorts of lying bastard accountants companies that would play along and help them fudge the books.
Oh.
And nobody has gone to jail for that. Okay? Nobody has gone to jail for that. It was entirely caused by people who were breaking the rules of the SEC and things. And nobody has gone to jail for it.
Jesus. So Sandy said, with what I said about the truck drivers, yep, and a lot of independent drivers just sat at home and said it's not worth it. And then Dave said there was a week when 21 longshoremen on the docks he works on got COVID. How much do you think that slowed down productivity? 21 longshoremen. Whew. Yeah.
Well, for that immediate area and those immediate families and the microeconomy of them, yeah, I'm sure it affected them badly. But
no, I meant we were talking about product moving.
Right, but should 21 guys in any location cause the entire nation to have to raise prices? No. No, not a chance.
No, and a lot of people have taken advantage of COVID, unfortunately. And I knew that was going to happen. I called that the first month. I said, "Oh God, here we go. Watch this shit."
I think that whole scenario is actually just a better argument for socialized medicine. Like a lot of those people probably could have been treated or vaccinated, prior to being infected, right? Like there's a lot more available that employers are not offering because it's not in the medical coverage.
Everything about COVID is being paid for by the government, and that is the definition of socialized medicine. We're paying ultimately we're paying for COVID through our taxes, but the government is writing out all the checks for all the medications, all the syringes, all the people's time to do all this. But that's socialized medicine.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I can't even say anything about it because I don't know enough about any of it to. I'm not even going to open my mouth to say anything. I don't know shit, and I know it.
I just wish.
Well, like with my vaccine,
I wish I was a fucking dope, so I didn't know all of this.
Yeah.
we had to wait until we were okayed here, but as far as my vaccine went, I am eligible for benefits through my employer, but they haven't gone into effect yet. So we have a state waiver, and you just basically, answer the questionnaire and sign, yeah, I don't have coverage for this, and you can get vaccinated totally free here at any pharmacy, pretty much. But we're pretty lenient on that. But as far as the actual programs, like I was on Medi-Cal for several years because I wasn't eligible for medical benefits. I couldn't afford them. As soon as they saw my income reach about $30,000 a year, they said you don't, you are uneligible. You don't have any of your other kind of debts or issues are not applicable here. You're not eligible for this state program. But in the sense of getting the vaccine, I still was, even though I'm not eligible for other services. They said that we're going to make sure we get you treated.
Well, that's good at least.
No, everybody is free for the vaccine. Everybody. There's no question about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's what even Trump said that. Nobody's paying for the vaccine.
If it's happening and Trump said it, then it must actually be true because he usually lies all the time. If he is actually on time with what's going on, then it's gotta be. Can't deny that then.
I'm so glad I don't have to hear that guy's voice every day anymore. Trust me. It used to cause migraines.
I wonder if it
His
has
face
anybody
on
ever.
the TV. Oh.
I know, right? Has anybody ever like looked up at the statistic of how much he was on TV compared to other presidents? Because I feel like he really did the job of I want all the attention. He did a really good job of that. I bet you he's on TV more than any other president.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
he's
just
the
constantly
ultimate
talking
drama king
about
right
him.
there.
Yeah, there was like every other news story. Yeah, exactly, Maya. He was never off TV. Dave said Trump has never been known to lie when sleeping.
I don't believe that.
He sleeps like a cow, right? You know.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Jenny Maya was saying there was a number of things that caused the 2008 crash. The banks were, my cat decided to stand in front of the screen. Okay. The banks were selling loans with super low rates for the first 5 years that doubled afterward, and people couldn't afford the mortgage after that. And then she said then there was the 20% unemployment rate.
Right. No, I don't disagree with that at all. One of the things that also happened in the 2008 that people don't give enough credit to causing it to be so bad was the fact that gasoline went up to $4 a gallon.
Oh, I know. That was horrible.
I mean, people were hitting the point where they can't afford to go to work.
That's about where I was at that point. You know, I started riding my motorcycle in all weather. I mean, it wasn't wintertime, thank God, but from spring until the fall, when the prices dropped back down, I believe that's when it happened. But right after the prices dropped back, I rode my motorcycle all the time to work because I couldn't afford to drive my car, and it was a Nissan. It was an economical car.
I got a
but
scooter,
you know,
and
20 miles a gallon or 47 miles a gallon.
I rode a scooter, bought a scooter, and rode it 50 miles round trip through the middle of the city, because my where I lived was on the northeast corner of the county, and where I was working was on the southwest corner of the county.
Yeah.
And the only way to get there was through the city. You can't take a scooter on the freeway. And it was it took fucking trip took over an hour. and people aim for fucking scooters.
I tell you, I had a 750 Yamaha basic cruiser, nothing fancy, but man, she rode so smooth. Oh, I miss that bike. Anyway, so for me to get to work and a quarter of it, I could go over 55, anywhere from 60 to 70 miles an hour for about a third of it. And it took me 58 minutes. I don't care how the traffic looked that day. It was always 58 minutes to get to work. So I'd give myself an hour and 5 or an hour and 10 just in case. But it was 58 minutes one way to get to work. And I was all the way up in the country at a little town north of Columbus, Ohio, and I had to drive all the way into Columbus and then all the way back out. So yeah, I understand. Yep.
Hey, I just want to say it's been awesome chatting with you too. I'm a little late starting my stream, so I'm gonna hop out. But I hope you all have an awesome night.
Thanks, Kevin.
I've had fun. So yeah, this was great.
I appreciate you coming by, buddy. Thanks.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.
We just need Maya to get in here.
Huh?
We just need to get Maya to come in here.
Oh, she is just Maya, get in here. Jenny says so. Because she knows I don't know shit about politics or anything, and so she'll just be doing all the talking. So she wants someone else in here. Oh my God!
Change subjects. I'm done with politics for the day. Let's talk about something fun like
So Randy said he had a 900 Kawasaki. It was the best bike I ever had, and I sold it to a collector when I joined the service.
That was a hell of
Oh,
a bike, a 900 cow.
oh. See, everybody wants to go big. Honestly, I like the maneuverability of the smaller bikes. I mean, I don't want like a 500,
My
but
brother
I
had
would
that.
never go over a 900.
My brother had that 6-cylinder Kawasaki that sounded like an F1 engine. It was, man, was that thing just beautiful? What a noise that thing made.
You
Oh,
know what they do around here? They make motorcycles. This shop, local shop, makes these custom trikes, and they got a really long front on them, and it has a fucking V8 on it,
okay, yeah.
and it looks like a drag car, but it's a trike motorcycle. And right behind the seat, the passenger seat, behind the driver and behind the passenger, there's a tank. It's got a fuel tank on it. It's like probably about 35, 40 gallon tank. And these guys buy them. They spend
Awful big.
they spend like 20, 30 grand on these fuckers, man. At
No,
least.
that
Might be
size
more than that.
tank. You know how big that is?
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge ass tank that goes across the back of the trike to fuel it. Yep.
There's no way they could. Let's see. That would be.
Oh God! Now everybody's coming in. We got a
Woo!
party. Hi, Maya.
That would be
Hey.
300. That would be 300 plus pounds of fuel.
No, it would not. Well, maybe it would.
I missed something here.
It's more than 30 gallons. That's all I know. It has to be. The tank's too big.
What are you talking
Anyways,
about?
oh, we got off on the motorcycles waiting for somebody to come in here.
Oh,
But
for
go ahead.
fuck's
You guys
sake.
talk up. You guys talk about what you want to talk about. I don't care.
I don't even know what to say.
Pie.
Wait, can you hear me okay? I haven't been on a stream since my office flooded, so I'm not sure like how my mic levels are or any of that.
You're a little loud, but
Oh, you
not
sound
much.
perfect.
How did your office flood?
I mean,
That is a great question. You know, I just know that like I woke up one day and the kids were in my room, just like holy shit, like you got to see this, and it's like raining in my basement.
Fuck. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but it's
No, yeah, we can laugh about these things now. We
Now.
don't pull the
Now, but 2
audience.
weeks ago, no, not 2 weeks ago. But now,
No,
it's okay.
this is about a month ago. Yeah.
Oh, it has been about a month now, hasn't it? Okay.
I'm sorry.
I just meant you were still mad about it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. It's just I don't know. I don't really. I'm just like kind of stoic most of the time. You know, it's just like, holy shit, something needs to be done, and you do it, and you get on with your life. You know.
Word. I do know. I do know. Sometimes you just, that's the
Mhm.
thing. You just have to find that happy medium of this I can control, this I can't.
Right.
And this is not the worst day of my life. See, I always just go, I've almost died 3 times. Not the worst day of my life today.
Holy shit! How'd you wait? Have I heard any of these stories?
right?
Car wreck and fell off a ladder and almost went all the way down. I landed on the edge of a lower roof. Oh, by the way, I landed between 16 to 18 feet. I fell and landed on my back. Didn't
Ooh.
break anything.
Ouch.
Holy fuck!
I did lose my
Oh,
kidney six
so
or 7
lucky.
months later, and then the kidney almost killed me. If I would have fell over to my left, I don't know how it didn't break like my spine or anything, because it landed. The edge of the roof was like right here, so my left arm went like this. If I would have went over another like 9 maybe inches, maybe a foot at the most, I would have went over that edge, and there was huge rocks another story down. So I would have went 2 stories instead of 1 and change.
Oh my god!
So I landed on my back, then my kidney died, and then that almost killed me.
Well, yeah.
So that's 3 times, yeah. Yep. I had that car wreck with my mom when I was 18, and we hit a stopped sitting on the side of the road dump truck at 63 miles an hour, and I had 3 cracked ribs and some bruised bones. Not bad. So,
You ever wanted to die
God.
going on a bad date?
you know, no, I just leave the date, dude. I don't even mess with it.
Oh,
Years
okay.
ago, I would have stayed there and
I
been
dated a
miserable.
girl. This girl was so ugly, I swear to God, it hurt my feelings.
Why did you date her?
She had to go trick or treating
That's
over
what
the
I was gonna ask.
telephone.
Randy. What are we gonna do with you?
I'm the one
I
in the
don't think it's
middle,
very
you
nice to
drunken
make
fool.
fun of people's looks.
Anyway,
Is there anything that can be done? No, but anyways, my point was, Maya, is that I always think like of the lowest points in my life. If I'm in a really shitty day, I'll think of those 3 things and then 3 other things that were horrible that happened in my past that really will kick my ass if I think about it too much. And I go, I'm not dealing with any of that. That's great. This is not as
Wow.
bad. Like I will, and if I get too mad, I just start laughing. If I get really pissed off, I'll just be like, dude, this is great. Fuck this shit. What the hell's going on right now? I do it at work. I'll just start laughing. People look at me. Like I was just a total dick to you. Why are you laughing? I'm like, really, dude? All right, man. And I just walk away.
No, not
I
there
just laugh
yet.
and walk away. Fuck 'em. Because the bottom line is not only am I hurting myself, but I'm letting them hurt me.
No,
I'm
I'm
doing it.
totally
If
there.
you ain't getting my power, fuck you. I'm gonna keep that shit. That's
No,
mine.
I'm totally there with you, but
yeah,
like I
yeah,
can't
you gotta
like
keep your power.
Fuck yeah.
no, I don't know. Like somebody pisses me off, I get pissed off at myself. And I'm just like, why am I letting them bother me? And I'll just walk away. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know. You got some stuff going on. I need to like think things through. I'll come back and deal with you when I feel like it. Like my husband fucking hates that shit though.
Touche. Yeah, I've even gone as far to if someone was an asshole to me and we're like Facebook friends, I'll post a bunch of funny shit that night. Like I'm just having a great time, even if I'm mad. I've done shit like that because I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you ain't getting me. I'm
Well,
not
yeah.
giving you the pleasure of knowing that I am mad at you. I'm just not doing it. Even if I'm pissed, I'll still be like,
Yeah, that's a great
hey, the next
strategy.
morning, hey, how are you this morning? And they're like, fine. I'm like, cool, man. Go back to work. And they just look at me. Yeah, that's how I do it. I go bitch to myself in my vehicle and I just keep until it goes too far. And then I get fired because I open my mouth. But up to that point, I am really good with it.
Yeah, if I just don't open my mouth, like, yeah, that's why I just go silent. So walk away from you.
Yeah, I just
Usually,
laugh.
and I think I wear my feelings on my face. So usually, like, it's not like, oh, that was so like I've never had anybody tell me, oh, that was so rude. Like, I think it was just like, I'm so fucking glad she didn't hit me because I really think that hurts.
I've never heard that expression before.
What?
You said I wear my feelings on my face. I have never heard that before, but that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom used to say, what's going on with you? What do you mean, Mom? It's written all over your face.
Mhm.
What's going on? She always knew. Always knew. Yeah.
My mom
Same.
used to say you're not allowed in the house.
Oh God.
I'm so dramatic at work sometimes, oh my, you know what I do? Like if my last boss, the job that I just quit,
Mhm.
so he was like, do you know how to complete work orders? Now, mind you, at this
Nice.
point, I'd been working there for 5 months,
Mhm.
had completed several work orders, put the notes in, exactly what happened, blah, 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 complete, it's done, it's out of the system. And I said, I just went like this. I'm walking away from him, and he asked me, and I go, and I just look at him blank. That's the shit I do. That's what
Yeah.
gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
And then he
no,
said
same.
something else. At first thing in the morning, he said, I need you to take that ladder from the first floor storage where it doesn't belong and put it away. And I was like, all right, when I get to it. So I kept going. I went ahead with what I was doing. And every time I stop like this, like I'm walking, I go, it's just what I do. I'm such a dick sometimes. So it gets to the point, Maya, that he tells the big boss that's above him
Mhm.
that he's not coming into work because B's going to be there today. He doesn't want to work with me.
What? He can
He
just do
did.
that?
I swear to God. So I come into work and I'm like, Joe's not here yet. That's weird. Yeah, I'm like, he's probably in his office fucking around, not doing any work or something, right? So my boss shows up and I'm right outside the office. I'm always doing the same thing because I have like a set schedule of shit I would do, you know. And
Mhm.
my day, I always had time to do everything, and I didn't have to like rush, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm coming out of my little janitor closet deal, and my boss comes up. He goes, "Hey, let me talk to you for a second." I was like, "Sure." So I come in there. I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" I said, "I knew something was going on today." And he's like, "How'd you know?" And I said, I had a feeling in my gut something was off. I knew it as soon as I got up this morning." I said, "So what's going on?" He said, "Well, Joe doesn't want to work with you, so he didn't come into work today." I was like, I literally took my mask off and went, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on between the two of you. Like, people are acting childish." And I was like, "Dude, it's not me. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to be respectful and, blah, blah, blah." So he says to me,
Mm-hmm.
"This is going to be between me and you and whoever watches this on YouTube now." He says, but I didn't say his name, so it doesn't matter. He says, "How about I just pay you for the rest of today and your other 2 days so you can get your 2 weeks notice and not burn a bridge with this company, and you just go." And I was like, "Cool." I said, "I have no problem with that." He goes, "You don't?" I said, "No, I brought my other shoes and my other uniform with me for my new job." I said, "I knew something was going to happen today." And he was like, "No shit." So I went outside and I grabbed my shit and I went in the bathroom and I changed
Like, no
clothes.
takesies, backsies.
I changed clothes into my uniform,
least
into my
you're still-
scrubs, walked in there, gave him the rest of my keys and said, "Thanks, buddy." And he gave me a hug. He said, "I'm going to miss you." I said, "I'm going to miss you too." And I left, went to my other job. I walked in there and they
Yeah,
were like,
you're on good
"What are
standing.
you doing here?" So I told them briefly what happened. And they were like, "Get your ass to work, clock in. We need you." And I was like, "Sweet. Nice to be needed." That's how, like, I had a weird week last week, man. The whole thing was weird. I don't want to work with B.
That reminds me
She's-
of my ex-boss.
she's so
She was always
honest.
telling me,
People don't like honesty.
my ex-boss was always telling me, "Hey, don't touch those." And then I had to put the butterscotches down.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Sandy. I did say something like last Wednesday or something. Yeah, cat's been out of the bag for a week. It's okay. Well, I know the bottom line is nobody from that company watches any of my shit, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Right.
So fuck them. They don't know good content when they see it.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
They never do.
So, yeah, it is.
Well, that's the
it is
thing, though.
tricky-
Companies
tricky
these days,
balancing.
the first thing they do is check Facebook and a couple of the other, like Twitter and a couple of the more popular ones, just to see what the hell you're doing. But they rarely ever check YouTube to see if you actually have a channel on there. But they
Boomers.
check to
You know
see
what?
your social
Here's the thing.
stuff.
You go and you go to put an application. They're like, "Oh, do you have any social media?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm on nothing." I'm not telling them where
Yeah,
to
that's what
find
you gotta do.
me. Fuck that. I
Right.
never, ever, 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 unless
Like, I
it's
have
someone
nothing.
I know, I
If you
never
see somebody
give
with
out
this
my
name
social
and
media.
this face, it is someone else.
That's right. You don't know who I am.
That's how you pass a
Go
job
ahead,
interview.
go ahead, look up B in the phone book. See what you get.
Yeah, look up
Well,
Harmonica
until I
Man.
make it legal, you won't get shit.
Dude, before I got to Twitter and all you people on YouTube, everything I did on the web was absolutely pure at heart, and I could have passed any test. And now my true self has come out, and I could probably not get a job anywhere.
You know, the truth of it is all of my shit, until I'm friends with you, I think all of my stuff, except for maybe Twitter, which I don't put anything on anyway. I just use it as a form of communication. But all my other stuff like Facebook, it's all private. You can't see it until I accept your friend request. So
All
What the
mine's
hell's
just like a
going
bunch of
on in the
political
side
shit.
chat there?
mine's
So if
Well, I was writing letters to Trump telling him to shove a barbed stick up his ass. It's, a lot of people won't understand that. So,
What's going on inside, Jeff?
huh?
Oh,
Theo's-
Tons of Mice is telling me Randy the Candyman makes sense. And it's like, I do have a van.
Theo said today they could take a pic of you and reverse picture search it. Yeah, they could do all kinds of shit
I
these
mean,
days.
yeah, all my stuff is so political. I mean, if you just want to get like radicalized, you can look at my social media. Like, it's not like you're not going to see, I don't know, anything crazy. I mean,
My
unless
like
you're like really like conservative.
like the worst I have on mine is maybe someone sent me some meme that has something to do with either the gay community or has a sexual innuendo, and I might have shared it. But still, I just don't think it's any of their business. That's my shit.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't
I don't
reflect.
know.
I'm not doing it on your time. If I was Facebooking on your time, then maybe you'd have a right to know because I might be doing some kind of HIPAA shit, against HIPAA shit.
well,
But
I mean,
otherwise,
yeah, like
it's nobody's business.
I had to fire a
And I don't
girl
even pick up
because
my phone at work.
I had to fire a girl because like the school board, she was in the like in my last job, we staffed nursing offices in some of the schools.
Right.
And I can't remember what happened, but like the kids were out of school and she posted a picture of her like at her desk. And the caption was, "I'm so bored." But like she had like a list of all the like students in the picture. And I'm like,
Dude,
did you not? I mean,
you can't. They
for
tell
one-
you that when you start working for a company, they'll give you like that little what do they call it?
HIPAA
Start you
training.
up. Yeah, what's it called? Anyways, yeah, it's kind of like the first training you do. But
I mean, like,
orientation.
Oh shit.
Orientation. They
Yes,
tell you that at
orientation.
orientation.
But no, they also tell you that because she's medical, right? They tell you that
Yeah.
in your training, all of your
Yeah.
medical training, you can't get past
Yeah.
that. So, like a patient list. Oh my
Like, let me put this
God.
out here. It has phone numbers and socias on it. We'll just
No,
put
I mean,
this out there.
It didn't, but it was our list of
Still, it
patients.
could have.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
the thing
this is what
even
happened
if
to my
it-
cousin.
even if it were a teacher, though, like with her list of students, like they're fucking minors. Like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll be right back. Go ahead, Randy.
My cousin worked in a lab at the
Mhm.
local hospital, and of course we know everybody. You know, it's a small town, and
Right.
his stepfather had COVID. Well, instead of waiting for the doctor's office to call the guy up and tell him, he called him up himself. So that was breaking HIPAA policy, and he got fired.
Wait, who called the doctor?
I mean, it's the plague. The lab manager.
Oh, the
My
lab
cousin was the
manager
lab manager in the local
called the
hospital.
doctor. Like, okay, but his
And he was
wait, did his lab results go to the lab?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had no reason to know it.
The only
Okay. Well, I'm thinking it's a small town. You
No.
take a COVID sample, you send it off to the lab. There's only one
No,
lab,
no,
and no. Okay.
Yeah, and the doctor is supposed to know it first, and then the doctor or the doctor's office, whoever he or she may be, or anybody in between, their staff has to call the person. Hey, come in.
Yeah.
You know, you've actually got COVID,
Right.
or anything else, cancer, you know, whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
Been down this road many times. Well, my cousin decided to say, you know what, I'm going to bypass all this bullshit. This guy's got to know right away. And he called his father-in-law up and said, hey, dude, you got COVID. And the hospital found out about it, the network, and they were just looking for an excuse to fire him. So they fired him. Here's the deal: was he was going to start a business of a mobile lab.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want that to happen because it would be competition with their lab. And he's like, no. I'm going to take the samples and everything, drive the van. You know, I got a lobotomist and everything, drive the van out there, take samples, you know, from these elderly people or whatever, and then drive them all back into the actual lab. And they said, no, that's not our policy. They got to come in so we can charge them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And so they're looking for an excuse to fire him. So when he told his father-in-law that he had COVID, then they decided, aha, you just broke HIPAA policy. got you now, and then they fired him.
Yeah. I mean, but like, they
So-
had to. They really had to, regardless of what he was doing.
Well, yeah,
Um,
they did. They
So-
did. He wasn't being 100% ethical in my mind. He really wasn't. Even though he did the right thing, it wasn't an ethical business thing according
I
to
mean,
his contract.
No,
for
I
his
mean,
position.
no, like what you said earlier, like that's the way to do it. Like there's, and like who Never Again just said, like there's no, like that's not the treating physician. Like the lab just runs the test. Like they're not.
That
It-
that lab result has to go back to the
Right.
doctor. The
Yeah.
doctor has to read it and sign off on it, and then people like me call the patient and say it's all negative,
Yeah.
or we just scheduled a follow-up appointment. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yeah, the
Yeah.
doctor,
That's what I'm saying.
the doctor, or the designee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
he just
it-
took it upon himself
they-
to do that shit.
Right.
You
No,
can't do
yeah,
that.
and I'm like, it's
It's
not. I
so
don't
illegal.
like, even if they loved him, like they still would have had to fire him. You know? Like, you
absolutely.
can't,
Yeah,
um,
Yeah. yeah, he just messed
Absolutely.
up. Well, he's a younger cat, anyways.
yeah.
Just did
I
a
mean,
gig with
yeah.
him the other night. Got a few videos out there
No.
on my channel too. He's all what?
No mice. It's not a meth lab. That's not the kind of lab we're talking about. He said a mobile meth lab, like the ice cream man. That could work.
Yeah, I mean, well, slightly looser restrictions with the meth lab for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There-
Well, I'm the bald guy. All I need is a younger partner that says, "What you doing, biatch?" And then we'd have ourselves a full show.
Okay. Randy's getting crazy over here.
Is there a movie I missed?
Don't know.
No, it's that show. It's that show about the meth guy.
The meth guy.
Talking about Breaking
that was
Bad.
out in the desert.
Oh, is he bald?
Oh yeah, Breaking Bad was great. It was so
Yeah.
well written. Well, look, my nephew was like, "You have to watch this show," because he said something about they made a Breaking Bad comment, kind of like you did,
Mhm.
and he said, He's like, "You haven't seen that?" And I'm like, "Seen what?" Breaking Bad. I'm like, "What's Breaking Bad?" He's like, "Oh my god!" So he's like, "Okay, so this guy, he's down and out. And he becomes a meth dealer." I'm like, you lost me. Not interested in anything like somebody making meth. Not my thing. And he said, "No, it's not like that. It's not like that. You gotta watch." So I said, "I'll give it 3 episodes." And by the 3rd episode, I was totally into it.
Really?
Could not stop watching it. And we like binge. We would sit on the weekend and smoke and drink and stuff. And we would just like binge Breaking Bad. Every
I heard
weekend.
it was quite the
It was
drama.
great.
I can't.
it's a
I couldn't
great
I
get
never
into it.
saw it.
Maybe
I saw
I
clips
maybe I
of it.
needed. Yeah, same. I saw like the first and half of the second episode. Maybe
No,
I should
you gotta get
three.
you gotta get to the 4th.
Okay.
Once you get past that 3rd episode into the 4th, you'll be into it. Because
gotta-
see, that's the thing is, I tell everybody this. If
Mhm.
someone says to you, try this show,
yeah,
always watch 3 episodes because they're just setting it up so none of it makes sense yet.
yeah. I
So
know, it's
once
just-
you get past the setup and you get into that 4th episode, then you're like, oh my God. That's
I
so
did
well
that
written.
with Game of Thrones. I really got in. Like I really
I've never
got
watched
into Game
it.
of Thrones. Don't. It's
It's just
read-
not my genre.
Yeah,
read
it's
the
a
book.
lot of hype, and then it'll
Just read the
disappoint
book.
you.
I'm not into like The Gladiator. I'm just not into those
No, I
kinds of
mean-
movies. I'm not into horror movies either. I think they're stupid.
Is it a horror movie? Well, yeah, I guess. you
No,
could. Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
know.
I'm not
Yeah,
into that genre
It's
either.
pretty
either one.
graphic from time to time, but
Well, that's
no,
why
I mean,
Romans
I love.
always had a smile on their face, because he was always gladiator.
Oh God.
You know what? You know what that gets you around here?
I know.
Dad joke award.
No, I'll take him off the street for a second and punish him. Little Randy punishment. You're welcome, Randy. I haven't
excellent.
kicked you off my stream yet. I usually kick everybody off. I
You
don't
like
kick
that?
Maya and
Okay.
Cynthia
That
off
was a
because they
first
scare
for
me.
That was the first for me in any stream,
kidding.
so that was pretty awesome.
Oh, you've got to go on Math Pig stream then. He kicks everyone.
He kicks everybody. He'll kick himself. He'll be like, "Yep,
I've
yep,
seen him
good
do
luck."
that.
He'll kick himself. That's where I got it from.
Oh
really.
yeah, I got to go on a
Mathpig,
stream.
Mathpig, if you
That's
say,
one of the
if you
things
like
I-
interrupt
on my
much, or
list.
you're being an asshole, or you're not listening, he'll just kick you and leave you in the back room for a minute, then bring you back. I'm not that mean though. I bring everybody back.
I don't know if I
faster than
have
that.
anything to add to his channel though, because he has some pretty serious conversations on there. As far
Oh
as I
yeah,
know.
that's right.
And it's usually
Third Rock
topics
from
that
the
I'm not
Sun.
familiar with.
He used to do open mic night.
Who? Mathpig?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's doing all kinds of different stuff because now he's producing for Manda and
hmm
he's got his hands full. Yeah,
Yeah, he has been
Yep.
doing them lately.
Yeah, I do that
but-
too.
he's trying to get more into like interviewing people
Mhm.
and he really he just wants to produce. That's what
Mhm.
that's what he wants to do.
Okay.
He just wants to produce for people. He doesn't want to do
Well,
all the. That's why
it's
he brings
good that
on
he
like
has a
Manda
good-
and Dave
any
and
channel.
Brainbug and lets them talk to the guests and stuff. Because he really just wants to do the production part of it. He
Mhm.
loves doing that part, and he's
I
good
don't-
at it too. He
yeah.
knows that
Variety
inside
is
and
where
out.
it's at.
I feel like such an old person
Variety is
when
where
I try
it's
to
at.
do
You
any
have-
of it.
Fun. I'm sorry, Maya. Go ahead.
No. I'm listening.
You know, Maya. You know, Randy's on a delay, right?
No,
Well, I do now.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not being rude. He's on like an 8-second delay because of his
8
internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
holy shit.
yeah. So if you
That's
tell
horrible.
a joke and then you keep on going, and if I start laughing, don't think I'm losing my mind because I'm just now
He'll laugh
hearing your
6 to
joke.
8 seconds late.
And then, yep. And
That's
then
funny.
you can think, okay, he's already lost his mind because it might be true.
I was gonna say, like, I might think you lost your mind, but it's only because you're here.
Yeah, if you hang out with this group, you got to be a little crazy.
We don't do
bad.
normal
I'm
around
still
these
looking for my
parts.
4th grade marbles.
Cadence said that. Oh yeah, you know what? Now that you say it, Cadence, I do remember you having an interview on Math Pigs. I watched that. I do remember that because he kept
I
calling you
didn't see that
Candace.
one.
Wasn't it Candace that he kept saying, or what was the other thing he said? I think it was Candace. I think he kept calling her Candace. And Amanda kept going, Cadence. And he'd say, yeah, Cadence. And then he'd say it wrong again. She's like, no! Yeah, Candace. It was Candace. That's what
Kinky
Cadence said.
after party.
The
What's a-
kinky as fuck after party.
what is a kinky after party?
They were talking sex toys and all kinds of shit. Butt plugs, gags.
Oh
Oh,
goodness! Like, did we get the visuals?
yuck and stuff.
I don't know. I don't remember that part. I don't think I stayed up that late.
Like,
don't
I
think
do
I saw
not
the
remember
after
it.
Well, after-
But
Yeah, you
Math Pick
probably
likes
blocked
to
it
do
out.
his streams. Math Pick likes to do his streams while I'm at work, so I'll catch like the last 15 minutes. of
See, I
them.
get that. Yeah, and that's what I told him because the time zone
You know,
is so
Matt Pig
different.
had
By the time I go on, he's like going to
Matt
bed
Pig. Oh, I'm sorry.
or been in bed. Go ahead, Randy.
Mm-hmm. Matt Pig had Dave on there tonight. You know who the hell is Critical Cripple, and he did a
Yeah. Oh,
show,
did he?
and it
Yeah.
was just fascinating. I had no idea that he was such a hacker into computers, and it's like
Oh
2
my
sentences
God, that
into
dude-
it, and I'm like, okay, I am lost. I
Look,
am
let me tell you
lost.
what
the shit
he's
he's talking about.
He
guy's
writes programs
phenomenal.
and he writes programs and slips them in the back door into OBS all the time.
What?
Yes. Dave, Critical Cripple, he is fucking like
Wow.
he is computer man. If something goes wrong on my computer, I DM Dave on Twitter immediately on my phone. And I
Really?
start asking him questions. And he always helps. He's
he
so
has
sweet.
programmed
But he has programmed stuff and had people
government
like
programs.
steal his use his shit and claim it for theirs, and like people have tried to fuck him over. But the thing
yeah.
is that
People.
hackers who get through back doors, remember folks, they leave back doors for themselves. They will get you later.
Yeah.
Don't fuck them over. No, but Dave is super. Oh my God, he writes some crazy shit. He knows everything about OBS. That's why everything on him and MathPig shit looks so cool. Dave wrote those programs.
Yeah,
He wrote a couple
I
programs
need
that
to do
make their
something about
stuff
that
look
too.
that awesome. I can't. I
So
haven't
start
tried
my
to run
show and
OBS.
it's like,
Oh, go ahead, Randy. What the fuck? I missed what you said. All I saw was you waving goofy.
I said I
Oh.
need somebody to program that shit for me and help me out with an intro, because that's what my shows start with, is just me doing the goofy.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Dave and Geo
You know,
Sam.
I made my own little intros. I just did it on wait, what is that called? Oh, Animonica. Animonica.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
you should hit up. Yeah, Dave and Geo Sam. They love doing that. And
Oh,
they'll-
Gio's got time on his hand and he tells people, I will help you, just tell me. Like
For
he
free.
wants to do that shit. He will for free.
Oh,
He'll
cool.
draw you up graphic art and
Cool.
shit for free. He's just trying to help people in the community and he has time to kill.
That's awesome, because I don't always have the time. I don't always have the time to sit here and dink with shit online in between the shows and everything that I show up on. And I'm out doing gigs and everything, and I'm out busking on the street also. So
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get content to show to people to begin with, and then I'm on other people's content and trying to put my 2 cents in, whatever the hell it's worth. So,
About 2
and
cents.
I'm illiterate with this computer shit, you know.
Yeah. You know, when
Yeah,
I first
I
started,
know.
Yeah, I'm illegitimate. That means I can't write.
God.
What was I gonna say? Oh, when I first started messing around with YouTube, I didn't know shit, man. Like MathPig and Dave taught me all kinds of stuff. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and then I started playing around with pictures, and now I've done all kinds of shit. Like I could sit here and talk to you guys and just create some thumbnail in like 20 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I could
I do it
absolutely
really
not
fast.
do that.
Oh, it's so easy. I just do it all in Paint 3D and it's free. And then for the videos, I use Animatica, and I went ahead and paid for it because I think it was like, it was something stupid like $10 for the year. I'm like, $10 to make a good video? So the intros I made those on Animatica.
Sure.
And it took me like maybe, I don't know, I think they probably took me about 2 hours each, hour and a half each.
Oh, you do know I have no idea what you're talking about, right?
Oh, you haven't seen my intro
Well-
videos?
Well, I mean, like what you're talking about, like
Yeah, they look
like
nice.
drawing or like doing any of
Oh.
that one.
Oh,
Like, you know,
Sorry.
Well, they're programs
I
right
picked up
on
this
your,
virtual pad and
PC
this virtual
to begin
paper pen and this virtual paper, and I do some shit and it comes out like this, and I'm like, okay.
okay, I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, like in my
Maybe
head,
we
you're
should
just like,
return to a subject that the whole panel could discuss.
I I'm an old lady, right? So like, I don't know.
You
Like in my
are-
head, you're
you are
waddling
not
around
older
your
than
tiny
me. I don't
home,
wanna
doing the
hear
chicken
that.
dance, and rainbows fly out of your butt, and next thing you know, you have a show. So
You know what? Look, what?
How's that work? And can I do it too?
Wait a minute. Can you
no,
repeat
you're not
that?
cool like B is cool. Be cool, all right, Randy.
I don't even know what you're talking
All right,
about right now.
I have
I'm
no idea
listening.
what
Go
I'm
ahead.
talking
What about rainbows flying out of my butt and I have a show now? I don't know.
Yeah, because that's how magic works.
It's gay magic. That's why it happened to me.
Gay magic.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other kind?
That's where the
though?
rainbow came from. Fucking Maya. Maya's drinking wine tonight. I know it. Are you drinking, Maya?
No, I'm pissed off and I'm afraid of me drunk right now because like I'm sorry. So like I haven't really
I've
been
had
like
a few
around
myself.
lately because like for like a month ago we were told that we were going to do a merger today. Maybe today. They didn't know.
Go ahead.
And who did you piss off this week? No. People take turns.
Oh.
I swear to God, my employees just like draw lots. Like I get to piss her off this week, but like today, everybody drew the short stick, and I'm just like, holy fuck! I swear to God, I don't like. I walked in here, nobody told me anything, and like now you guys are asking questions, and I'm like, do you see this blank screen? That is the information I have for you right now. So we should get out of the goddamn office.
See this
Every
right
hour.
here? See this right here? This is what I have for you. Nothing. Nothing.
Because that's what they've given me.
Oh
Can't
my
log in.
God.
Like I walked in, I can't log into my computer. Like it's just they sent out a guy, like an IT guy. He looks out and he was like, "Yep, no internet." Walks out the front door. Like it's just.
That's it. He's like, no internet. See ya. Oh,
So then,
God.
like, I go to my boss and I'm like,
The cats are going crazy.
Have you seen Bob or whatever the fuck his name is? And she was like, yeah, he was totally here. And then the director of nursing is like, no, Bob totally left. And I was just like,
Well, but you
Oh.
called Bob in for a tech issue. The internet not being on is not Bob's problem. So Bob said, "Fuck
Like,
you
Bob,
guys, I'm
nobody
out."
can log into their computer. It's we kind of need that so we can do our fucking job.
For the
Noted.
first 3 days I was on the job, I couldn't get into the charts. I
Yeah.
couldn't get into the electronic faxing. I couldn't get into the updocs. I couldn't get into anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my boss came over, got the IT guy on the phone, did everything, showed me this, wrote that down. Okay, good, you're good. The next morning I come back in, it was all gone again. He had to get in remote again,
Wow.
download all the apps, and she was like, Steve, can you please fix this? And he's like, yeah, I got it. So the next morning we come in, it did it again. She was like, Steve, he's like, no, I'm doing it right now. And I swear to God, the next morning everything was fine. After that, she was like, Steve, I mean it. Like, I have you on
No,
retainer.
I'm really hoping like by tomorrow morning, like I can do anything at all. I've got to get everything together by Friday. Like we have to do payroll, and like I can't not do payroll. So we'll see. But no, like this, I don't know what happened
I
with
am
our last
so
company.
happy for you, though,
What?
For what?
that you're working.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't
do
We'll
that
talk about that
anymore.
because it's happier. I'll talk about that. It's much happier. All right. Apparently, I can't not work. I tried to not work. And then I got a bunch of money. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to take all this money and sit on my happy ass because work is stressful. And then I was just like, oh, whoa, I'm running out of money. Maybe but I don't want to look for a job though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I sent out an email to 2 people and it kept me working through the whole goddamn summer. And then
Damn.
I finally got this job at the end of the summer. I was like, all right, I'm tired of temp work. I'd like to have something stable. Boom, like this job. And so it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I've been very lucky, which
I'd
is my
say.
new word for blessed. I don't know how you.
That's what I've always called it.
Yeah, I mean, which is what it is. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like, I mean, because you
Yeah,
know,
for
like,
a lack of a
everybody-
better word, blessed.
right. So, like,
Well,
my
you
whole
know,
life,
you're
though,
just-
it's been blessed.
You're
you
just
know,
in
and
that
so
right
now
place
it's
at the
like,
right time. You know, if you think of it like this, think about all the times
Yeah.
that you get shit.
it really doesn't
Something
happen
good.
to me. No.
It's just bound to happen eventually.
When I'm saying blessed,
Yeah.
like I don't think you realize what a spoiled little rich girl I really am. Like it's
Oh.
almost like
Well, we'll just kick Maya off then. We don't have that on here. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Maya.
yeah, it needed to happen.
I needed
I want to
kick
kick
one.
myself sometimes.
Well, I'm
because
sure your husband
like,
spanks you
people.
enough.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. People like I listen to people's problems and I'm like, holy shit. Like I have to like talk to other people to get a sense of how bad the world is because like it just I don't know. I mean, and I could tell you about like bad periods for me, but like it's still like, all right, well, life hit you. It's not like, holy shit, how are you still alive? I would have put a knife to my wrist long ago, which is like half the people I meet. But no, I'm really I don't know. I for me, I chalk it up to me just being a planner. I don't like not knowing what's going to happen. Like something's going to come. I'm going to plan the shit out of it. Like you are not
Right.
going to be unknown. And life just kind of goes along. I am finding that a lot of people have no idea how to do that though. They just kind of
Nope.
you know, it's just like, well, I would like for this to happen. So I'm going to wish and I'm going to do nothing different. And I'm going to hope that something different will happen.
Right.
And I'm like, maybe you want to like do something different. And they're like, no, that seems like a lot of work. And I'm like, okay, but here's the thing though, right? There's what you want and there's the
Nice.
ways to get it, you know? And people don't, that just doesn't click with people, like that I can research how to accomplish a task. And
Do these people realize that that's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result?
No, I mean, it's just.
I mean, it is.
Though.
That's what they do.
I mean, I don't
Just
know that
keep doing the
I
same
don't like
thing.
that. It's not the actual definition of insanity, but it is a pretty insane action.
It's pretty close. It's close enough.
Right. If you had to do something
Well,
that was
here's the
insane, that would
problem.
definitely be included with that. But
Here's
like,
the
I
problem
mean,
with today.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Everybody wants one of them silly ass reports, like what do you call like a case study? Everybody wants a case study on every single little thing, so they can have every little step of the way. And it's like, can't you think for yourself? This is
No.
obvious shit. Your mommy and daddy should have told you when you're 6 years old. Now
No.
go over there and learn.
We're
as you go.
Americans.
You
There
need
is
to
no
figure
such
it
thing
out
as
as you're
critical
going.
thinking.
Oh, that's right.
No.
My bad.
Not
What'd
in
you say,
America.
Maya?
I
As
said
they
we're
say
Americans.
these
There's no
days.
such thing as critical thinking.
No, I know. There's no such thing as a lot of things here that should be. A lot. There's a
Medicare
lot
for
of
all.
things.
And that was the one thing. Actually,
Mhm.
Medicare for All is the one thing that really got me. Like, I've been a staunch advocate for it for a while. And it really did hit home with me
You know-
when I was out of work, because I was still making too much money to get into the exchange.
Right.
So, and then the temp agency was like, well, you're working steadily, so you can come on our insurance. And I was $500 a month. Like, that's like a fucking paycheck. Like, are you kidding me? It was just so
If I
insane
could
that
afford that, I'd have a job good enough that I wouldn't be here.
if I could afford that, I would just like not
You know what
work
I mean?
still. Like, I'm working because I'm running, I'm low on
Yeah.
cash. You know, it
What does
was just
Jenny
so insane
think?
to me. But like, to be able to
Okay.
like take my meds, because I have like moderate to severe ADHD. I need my meds to get the goddamn job. Hey, Randolph.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
you
What
know
were you
what?
saying, Maya? I got distracted. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, with all the
Hi, Randolph.
Medicare for all like wafting through the stream right now. Hi, Randolph. I'll
Hi.
stop
How are you?
filibustering, and you can
Hey,
tell
Randolph.
us about how
Hello.
great Canada is. And is Theo still in the chat? He can tell us how great Sweden is, and I'll just
Well, I can
you
tell
actually
it-
said Canada.
I do talk
Canadian.
about the great. I do tend to talk about the good points here, but I can't deny that there are things here that could be a lot better too.
B, I'm gonna take
wait,
off.
if you
Bye, Jenny. Thank you for
Bye,
coming, honey.
Jenny.
I
Take
appreciate
care,
it.
Jenny.
go to my rants.
Care, guys.
Tomorrow will be better. Bye, honey.
You think so?
Yes.
Yes, we promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that a nice
Okay.
cup?
What is
Whoa,
that? You make it.
Randolph.
Oh, it's got a
Covered
bunch of
bumblebee.
bees on it.
Yeah.
It's like
My
a
daughter
Winnie the
came
Pooh
back
jar.
from university and she brought this with her.
Oh, that's cool. I
So
like
I'm using
bees.
Better look out.
You do.
That
That's how
might
everybody
be
spells
against
my name,
YouTube
though. They always
community
put that-
rules showing your bees like that.
Shut up, Randy.
Sorry, Maya, you were asking
They
me
always
something.
put that extra E on the end, and I'm like, no. No. Just one E.
Bee sing. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I hear in Canada you guys don't have dental, or is it mental health or something else you don't have with yours?
Sorry, we don't have national dental care. That's all private. But most people who are employed get on like a Blue Cross program or some kind of insurance program. Blue Cross is the most popular one here, and that one will cover a lot of the basic dental work and preventive cleaning and stuff that needs to be done. But yeah, so we don't have that. We do have mental health coverage. That's becoming an even more and more important focus. In about 10 or 15 years ago, the RCMP, our National Police Force, started receiving training for mental health, dealing with people with mental health and recognizing it. And so the policing has improved because of that.
Good.
And so a lot of the local municipal forces that aren't RCMP also do that. Each municipality has a choice here. They can, and the municipality I'm in went with RCMP. They can either set up their own police force or they can outsource to the RCMP. And when they outsource to the RCMP, the federal government pays for 20% of the budget for the policing.
All right. So wait, are your police the Mounties,
Wow.
or is that something else?
Sorry? Yeah, the Mounties. That's the RCMP.
Royal Canadian Mounted
Oh,
Police,
gotcha.
RCMP. Yeah.
The Mounties
So-
are our federal nationwide police force. Yeah.
They're just cartoon characters here. So
You
I
know
have
what?
To, like, I have
That
to.
was
like,
my
ask
Oh,
last
them
name when I was
Dudley
a kid. was
Do-Right.
Dudley Do
They
Right.
are all Dudley Do-Rights.
You know,
Yeah.
one of
Randy and
the,
I say it at the same time.
one of the prime directives of the RCMP is compassion. And quite often, like people here,
Uh-huh.
the first time they get
Compassion.
pulled over
Wait,
for something, they'll
your
actually
policemen
get a
believe in
warning instead of a
compassion?
ticket.
I'm sorry, you said compassion and police in the same sentence. I must have
Right.
missed something there.
No, like, yeah, I feel like I like hallucinated or something.
Well, they're
Like,
and-
so wait, your police
Well,
don't
somebody's got to
see
save Nell from the
people.
tracks.
Like your police don't see people and then like think, oh, must kill or suffocate to death.
They're unfortunately some psychopaths do get into police work, but the majority are
Yeah,
not.
they do.
Look, I'm like this right now.
It's
Right.
it's not perfect here either. There are things that need to be improved.
Like I'm
So
pretty
there's-
convinced that we select for the psychopaths.
Yes, we do that. Excuse me, are you crazy? Absolutely. Would you like to be a cop? Yes.
Well, if you're crazy, chances are you can
We
win.
got
in a
another
street fight.
one. We
If
made
you're
sure he
crazy-
was blonde haired and blue eyed.
That's why we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
allowed in the
If you're
force.
crazy, chances are you can win in a street fight.
That's a novel
That's true.
idea.
Well, yeah, that's true. Because crazy people don't feel pain like normal people do. They'll
Oh,
just
they
keep
do.
going.
But
And they're like
they
that
deal
crazy
with
this is
strong
true.
too.
It's
Yeah.
it's not about not feeling the pain. It's about how they cope
I would
with
know.
it.
That is crazy. So like
Whoa.
I mean, it sounds like, and just hear me out. It sounds like you don't have rabid white supremacists running your government.
Unfortunately, I can't say that's 100% true.
But it, like over here, 100%.
It's not
does.
throughout the government. It's just part of the government there.
There are
Not
there are
throughout
some
like here.
like the Proud Boys. They started here in Canada, and it was just last year that our federal government decided that the Proud Boys would be designated as a terrorist group, so they aren't allowed
Oh,
back.
shit.
Yeah.
We tried that. Our president labeled them as very fine people.
Yes.
Oh, he should have
Yes.
labeled them as very frightening people.
Wait a minute. Hold
no,
on.
no, the FBI
Maya?
did that. The
Maya,
FBI
correct
did that.
statement.
He said
Ex-president.
no.
So
Oh, right, you're former. I said
FBI
former.
good,
Former.
FBI good, Donald Trump bad.
The shame, disgraced, one term, twice impeached,
Ah.
former president.
There's that name again.
And now they're gonna get him through his lawyer.
Oh yeah, Rudy Giuliani's got a lot of legal troubles lately. I hear.
Holy shit. No, yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, I'm happy
And,
about that.
apparently-
Yes, I am. Of
And apparently Trump's going to
It's
go up to
hilarious.
bat for him and defend him tooth and nail, right?
course he is. You know what that motherfucker knows about him? Oh, you don't let that guy go. That's your buddy right there.
I love
Who's gonna
Randolph.
believe
He's so
Rudy, though?
funny.
Who's going to believe Rudy Giuliani though? He's crazy.
Yeah, he is. Like
He can probably win street fight.
Anybody who has an agenda to believe him, that's who.
I bet Rudy Giuliani
Yes.
could win in street fights. Actually, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah. No,
Hey,
he's just
wait,
like Mike
wait, wait.
Tyson, go right for the ear.
Did anybody see that thing of
My
his son
cane
talking
against
about
his
it?
any day.
Anybody? Anybody see Rudy Giuliani's son? Has anybody seen him?
I heard about that. I didn't see the actual
No.
Dude,
interview.
his head is huge. I'm telling you, his head is like abnormally large for his body.
like
it's really
reptilian
weird.
or gray alien.
I don't know. He looks kind of redheadish, but he looks weird.
She said, I don't know.
That's what happens when you're born
Would
a
you ask
Brussels,
She's
bro.
serious.
Now, Brett Kavanaugh, on the other hand, I think wouldn't stand a chance in a street fight.
No.
Me?
Brett Kavanaugh. Am I saying his
No,
name
no,
right?
no, no. I was talking about Maya.
I'm sorry. We'll talk about Randolph. He's a newbie. You're a wait. When was your thingy? You had a thingy the other day. With Gavin.
Oh, the debate review. I was on the Raging Atheist channel, and YouTube gave me a time of 1400 Pacific time. It ended up I was an hour late. I logged in early to take a look on things, and holy cow, all these people are asking, "Are you okay? Are you in trouble?" Like I wasn't there. I always like to
Oh,
be.
B remembers that.
And this
That happened to
got
her.
messed
She was
up.
supposed to be in Neil's chat. Neil's like, "This isn't like her. We hope she's okay." And then like all these people start.
See, people are genuinely concerned because
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you just have to do the math yourself.
yeah, but
Yeah, we were
I'm-
talking about 2 totally different months. That's what
Okay. But I did get in for the last half of it, and that was. I apologized profusely for.
Well, no, I'm talking about the debate itself, like between you and Gavin.
Oh, that was a couple months ago. Yeah, that was on Tart. I was in 2 debates with him. The first one went, I thought, just fine, although he shuffled papers a lot. He's new at debating then, so that's fine. We focused on the subject, and I look forward to part 2 where we debate the 10 Commandments, because I said in that debate, that the first debate, that I disagree with all 10 Commandments. I think they're all problematic, and so he said, "I'll debate you on that."
Okay,
So
maybe his head isn't really that big.
Okay.
He looks goofy as shit, though. All right, I'm gonna stop.
But
Maybe his head isn't
Oh,
really
I see.
that big.
Yeah, his
but
eyes.
to me, he looks kind of. I don't know. Doesn't
His
he look
face
weird?
is too small for his head.
Is
He
that
looks
what it
happy.
is?
His actual
eyes look
face
too-
and
too
small for his
features are
eyes
too
are-
small for the fat around his head.
Yeah. He's got those little
just looks
beady,
like
like,
another person
rat
to
eyes.
me.
No offense, Mice. No offense. Or Nerdy or whoever's there.
He just
But yeah,
looks
he's
like
got
a
like
happy
little
person.
weasel eyes.
Oh
He
yeah,
just-
yeah,
he
That's
just
what
looks
it
like-
is.
Yeah.
To me, he just looks
Well, I
like
mean, he
somebody
is his
who's happy.
father's son.
He just looks like somebody who's happy to me. So,
He looks like a
Happy?
chicken fucker to me.
but the second debate with Gavin was on the 10 Commandments, and that's where he, at the beginning, he stood up a little bit, and I thought, "Oh, your pants match your skin color." That's what I assumed. And then near
Are
the
you
end of the
kidding?
debate, he actually stood up, showed everything, and chased after a bird, and it was bizarre. I didn't see it because I was looking at my notes, and I'm glad I missed it. But
Oh, so he did stand up with, and there was nothing there.
What?
naked.
right, yeah.
It was like a Kindle.
You know, that
no.
I am so glad I
Oh,
never saw
wow.
that.
Apparently, the auto lighting feature in his camera darkened everything so people couldn't see any detail, but it was a big dark
Good.
spot. It's like, but he got up
You know,
and chased after
I might be a
bird.
total jackass.
He got up and chased after a
But, I
bird,
mean,
so
come
he's
on.
reaching for this bird. Like,
Ugh.
so anyway, I got onto Praise That I Am is the name of the guy who runs who runs some kind of after party stream that group of Christians are in. John Maddox is with that, and Gavin's hanging out there regularly, and a bunch of others.
Yeah, my brother goes over there all the time and talks to
Yeah,
them and like
you know the
blows
one.
their mind. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the
Good.
only one that doesn't get like booted, like religiously. Like if you're like not a Christian, like
Oh yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're actually, I don't know if it's because of how respectful he is, but they let him come on, like they'll bring him on the panel all the time and he gets on there and
Because he
talks.
believes in God.
Yeah,
That's
he's
it.
not an atheist.
But they don't agree with him on anything, but because I mean,
Yeah,
I go in
mean-
there while he's on, I'll go in there and bullshit in the chat with people and everything. Sometimes I just stay quiet and listen
No,
to
I won't
They're
give
what
him
Ricky's
views.
saying.
They're quasi
But he-
open, and they like Richard. So
I won't.
Well, he
I won't
believes in the
debate.
Bible. He just has a. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Randy?
I just won't debate at all. I won't go on any of those things because at the end of the day, you look around. Oh yeah, you're full of shit. Plain and simple.
Well, to
There's
me, the
nothing
bottom
there.
line is we all believe what we're going to believe, and I don't think any debate that they put on any channel is going to change anybody's mind about any of it until they
Yep.
decide it's time to change their mind.
when we're talking about Gavin, you have to be careful about
Yep,
terminology
exactly.
you use, like bottom line.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
because he's got this reputation.
Still,
for-
bottom line,
Well,
end
I
of
mean,
the day,
it's-
doesn't matter.
and apparently he's done on a number of streams.
I mean,
So-
But what I did is I went on
think
their
about
stream, live chat, and I asked Gavin,
Hold
like,
on,
what's the story here? You weren't wearing pants. Like, what's going on? Is there some reason for this? Like, and I was thinking, okay, he's going to apologize, or he's going to say, I was something like, oh, my medication's different now, so I'm not myself, or something. He'd have some kind of reason. Nope,
Right.
nothing like that. He got combative. And
Oh.
so that and his buddies are all laughing when I asked that question. Not one of his Christian friends said to him, you know, that doesn't represent Christians very well. You shouldn't
no.
have done that. Not a single one of his
No.
buddies said that. So to me,
Oh,
this
I'm
is-
sure they didn't to his face.
Oh wow, that's sad.
Yeah, so I know. So me and Oz,
No, they
both-
won't. They're very
All-
tribal.
Yeah, Oz and I both concluded that he did it purposely, and he meant to be rude and insulting about it. And when I said to Oz after the debate, I said, "Look, he's acting inappropriately. It's a sexual harassment thing, the way I see it." And I said, "Look, I don't want to debate with him or engage with him ever again on these things." And Oz said, "Oh, don't worry about that. He won't be welcome back here."
Yeah. No,
And
that's,
this
you
is the normal
know,
reaction.
if
Just
there's-
protect yourself.
I
It's
have,
normal.
from the first time I have ever seen him on talking to anybody, on the first time I ever saw him, I said to myself, there's something wrong with that dude. I'm not even making this up. Like,
Mhm.
I instantly
believe
knew
you.
there was something wrong with him, and not like, oh, he's a little slow. No, I mean, like, he's kind of fucked up in the head. Like,
People
not
were comparing him with
in a bad
character-
way, not in a, oh, poor guy way, you know?
People were comparing him with a character in a movie about working in the office, in office life, and
TV show, and it's called The Office.
The Office, and
Stapler guy.
yeah, Stapler,
Yeah,
Boy.
you can't-
Yeah.
You can't
Okay.
be
Stapler Boy.
that incredibly unprofessional in a professional type scenario that you're trying to get down to the bottom of something intellectually. It's almost like dating a really stinky chick and taking her to a fancy Italian restaurant and saying, "Oh my God, can I smell your beaver?" And then she's like, "God, no." And it's like, well, it must be your feet then.
Well, no, I mean, so you would do that if you're trying to end the date, right?
If
There
you're
are better
ready
ways
to
to
end
end
the
the
date,
date.
I can tell you that.
100%. No, 100%.
This
But like,
is why Randy's single.
no,
There
no,
are
no.
better, gentler ways.
Well, I had
to
an
date.
extra plate
Well,
of
no, no,
bacon
no.
at the
You
end
would
of the
do
night,
that
so it
if-
wasn't too bad.
No, yeah, but like,
Go
okay,
ahead,
you would
Maya.
do that if you had respect for the woman. You would want to do something respectful because you have respect for yourself.
Right.
But when you
Yeah.
know, are tribal and you hate atheists and you want to like just really, I mean, it's kind of like you're saying, like harass them because they're demonic, and you know, like I am righteous in doing this because God hates them, so this gives me the right to put them in their place. It's just, you know, you choosing to like put that out of your life, I think is a good move, because like that's how I could be wrong. Maybe he's just like legit like stupid and not like can't process thoughts. To me, it really looked like it was like total like a way to disrespect you.
Do you know
And
what?
it was done on purpose.
I conclude it was done on purpose.
I agree,
How
Maya.
he reacted when I asked him about it. I had left it wide open. I said, "Tell me your perspective. What happened?" And that's how I approached it. So I
Mhm.
think that was a fair way to approach it, and I was not rude or aggressive about it. But
Right.
Mm.
You know, the first time I ever
That's
the
like
first
saying, what
video
is
I
your
ever saw
intention?
Gavin on, first video I ever saw Gavin on, I saw the end of the discussion they were having. I don't know if he was on a debate or what. I don't remember. But I remember at that same time of sitting there going, this dude's weird, right?
Mhm.
He gets up from the thing and he's got the StreamYards on his phone, I guess, or something. And he's walking around and he's in like a library at a college. That's what it looked like to me.
okay.
Like a sitting area, tables for people at a library.
All
And kind of looked like what he was sitting at when you were talking to him. Same kind of, it might have been the same room actually, same color walls. Anyway, so he gets up and he's like saying goodbye to everybody.
No, this is my home. He's definitely not here. No,
What? What are you talking about?
you said looks like here.
No. I said when he was talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Where he was sitting when he was talking to you, it looked like that same kind of room.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. He's somebody
Like
told me that
The
he
drop
some-
ceiling and the industrial-ish
yeah,
college
business office.
library-ish. Yeah, that's what it looked
Yeah,
like.
I've heard a few people have told me that he's presented a few times from public library, and I guess if they,
So he was. Okay, that's where I thought he was.
I don't know. if
Anyways, the point is he walked around and said goodbye to everybody there. Like they weren't even They probably don't even know him. And he was like talking like he was drunk. There's something wrong with that dude. Seriously.
Yeah,
I think somebody needs to make him go see a doctor. I think he's got some.
well,
He's
I've
probably got like
said-
fucking diabetic ketoacidosis or something going on. He's losing his fucking mind. I don't know.
I've said it quite a few times that he needs psychotherapy because acting like that's just the way it went in the debate with taking his not being there with his pants on. That was strange.
Yeah.
Maya, you've made fun of this a few times. Asked me in the live chat if I'm wearing pants, and I've said yes. Sorry to disappoint, but maybe you'll be satisfied that my feet are not covered.
I'm sorry. Your feet are never covered. You love being barefoot.
Yeah, I love
I,
going around barefoot
It's just like,
at home.
kind of a streamer joke. Like, you
Yeah.
don't stream in pants, which is fine if you never plan on getting up or know how to turn your camera off before you do. But
Yeah.
I have
That's
literally sat here and worn boxers, and every time I stood up to like get coffee or something, I just muted myself and turned my camera off, and nobody
Right.
knew I was. I mean, I'm wearing sweatpants today because it's chilly out. It rained today, but there has been times I've been just in like boxers or boxer briefs or something. Sure.
I'm sorry.
Wearing
Hey, Kevin.
I don't know. Y'all are. I don't even sleep naked unless it's like over 100 degrees. So.
Oh, dude, I can't sleep with clothes on. I don't know how
can't
you
sleep with
people do
clothes
it.
on.
I always
man.
sleep naked.
I can't. I got to be free.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
I am. I call myself. I was telling Jenny this earlier. I call myself tactilely challenged because if things touch me, I have to feel comfortable. And like this shirt is like fleece lined. It's my favorite fucking shirt because it's so soft on the inside. And if I wasn't on a live stream right now, I wouldn't even have a bra on, which you guys would probably never notice with this thick shirt. But anyway, I love that. I love soft clothes, things that aren't itchy. They can't have tags. If they have tags, as soon as I buy them, the tags are gone.
Right.
I can't stand my clothes twisted on me. Like
Yeah.
you'll see me like straightening my shirt all the time, and that's why I do it. Everything's got to feel right on me. So when I go to bed and I turn around once and flip over and that
Same.
shirt's twisted, I'm wide awake and I'm mad. I feel
I
like
think
I've been
it's
like
healthier.
trapped or something. I don't
I
like it.
think it's healthier to sleep naked, actually.
Yep.
But
Yeah, air that shit out, man. No, I don't know.
I think, except aside from Pornhub, I think it's always appropriate to wear clothing when you're on a live stream.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yes.
wouldn't sit here with no bottoms on. That's insane.
Well, what's visible is what I'm talking about, right? So,
Yeah.
but you
It's
know,
Well,
like,
like you guys
that
said.
old nightmare that everybody used to have where you'd show up to school naked. Like now that's everybody's like favorite fantasy. They're like, yeah, I want to do that.
but the thing is,
No, I never went to school naked in my
Um,
dreams, but twice there was 2 dreams that were similar, and I had no pants on.
The
And I had a
thing is,
shirt on.
going into a live stream,
Underwear.
it's still a good idea to at least be appropriately covered, just in case the camera falls and tilts
Shifts.
unexpectedly.
Yeah, we
Or
don't want
you
to see
forget
that
and you
shit.
Stand up. Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't trying to see any swinging meat in this shit. No.
It's an Edna
No.
from that show with the cartoon superheroes. I forget what it's called. It was saying that the
Shut
life
up,
savers
Randy.
the prepared.
Right, right.
You know what show that is? I forgot what it's called. The Incredibles. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I'm really bad with names. Like people will be like, "Oh, I love this song. It's called," and I'm like, "Is it?" Well, you know it, don't you? Yeah, I know every word, but I don't know who wrote it or what the name of the song
Well,
is.
In the
If I
1980s,
know,
here,
I
Yeah.
never remember that shit.
in the 1980s and 70s here in Canada, all the radio stations, they'll play a whole bunch of songs, and then the DJ won't even tell you what songs they are. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, Theo. I'm sorry that those 2 people are out there
Wait.
representing your country right now.
Atangelo
Yo.
Swiss?
No, Gavin is in New Zealand.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's Swiss.
with
I thought
Angela
he
the
was-
Swiss.
I thought he was Danish, but sometimes the
No,
accents
I
kind
thought
of
he was German. I thought it was
Uh-uh.
Brazilian
Well,
and
at
German.
least he lives in Switzerland. I don't know about his nationality, but I know
No,
that's
he's
where he
in
lives. He told me
Brazil,
that.
but
Oh.
but he's got Swiss
Apparently
roots.
Switzerland. I thought it was from
And-
Germany.
Yeah, and Gavin is
Maybe
in
does he
Australia.
speak? Does he
Yeah, I
speak
thought it was-
German?
Okay,
Is
that's
that why I'm
mixed up.
thinking Germany?
He might.
Gavin could be from Australia. I don't know, but he's
Yeah, I
in
don't fucking know.
New
I
Zealand
don't
right
care.
now, as far as I know. Like
Oh my God! The last time he was on this channel, though, and we all started talking about different sex stuff. I could swear his face was turning red. He could not get into the conversation. And pretty soon he's like, I'm gonna leave, you guys.
Yeah, he did. Did you guys, Maya and Randolph, Kevin, did any of you guys catch all that when he popped into my chat that night?
I don't.
Every time he pops
don't
into your
follow.
chat, he gets banned like
Right.
immediately.
So I told them, they were like, oh, Otangelo's here. And I said, you know what? Leave it alone. Otangelo, you know my rules. Don't be a dickhead. Be nice
And
to
then he
each
got
other.
banned anyway. We're
Join-
banned.
No. Not this time. This was the last time
Okay.
he came in. And I said, just be part of the conversation, but we're not going to sit here and talk about religion. That's not what we're talking about right now. So if you want to be part of the conversation, do it. So he got into the
Mantis.
conversation in the chat. He was actually discussing what we were talking about. And then he said something about, can I come in? And I said, sure. People are like, you're going to let him in? I'm like, why not? He's being nice as long as he
You're for the
behaves.
show.
And I told him, I said, dude, I'll make your life hell if you don't screw around on my shit. And he's like, no. So I brought him up here, and then Will asked him something about, so what's up with you? What are you doing? You have hobbies? We don't know anything about you. And he said, actually, I want to buy a sailboat. And he said, I love to sail. And we were like, really? So we talked about that for a little bit. He was totally part of the conversation until it turned to sex, like it always does on all of my streams at some point or another.
Like you're trying to do right now.
Sometimes multiple times. But then he finally, he ducked out at that point. But he was totally cool, and he hung out with, I don't know, for a good like 30 minutes or something. And see, I was
and
then
trying to have him on.
Ox actually apologized in the chat and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Otangelo. I didn't know you could be a cool guy, because you come in like blah, But Ox apologized to him in the chat and said, "I'm sorry, I keep banning you, but I didn't know you were a good dude." So
He's not. He's not.
No, he is.
Yeah,
if
no,
he's
I've
not
seen him do
talking
that
about
Not.
religion.
No. You guys gotta stop doing this. Look,
If you keep him away from religion, he's
just
okay.
because people are nice to you doesn't make them a nice person.
Okay, well maybe he's not. He's good to talk to, and he's not discussing religion.
He can,
Always
yeah,
said
he
that.
can, he can behave him. He's able to behave himself. I'll give you that. He's not a
Yes.
good person.
Right. He's not a total douchebag.
He's a
not
total
like Jesus
douchebag.
Lord. He's not as bad as
Oh
Jesus.
God, no.
That fucker. You know what you
Him
guys
and
talked
Bethel.
about earlier where they
Holy
were
shit.
saying, well, we could do whatever we want. We're Christians. So he's cussing people out in the chat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in, I don't remember whose chat it was. Maybe it was like Praise or somebody. I don't remember. And he was talking shit and he's cussing and stuff in there. And I was like, dude, I thought as Christians you weren't supposed to do that. So, well, Jesus did it. And I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's analyze this. So let's say we're Christians and we believe in Jesus, okay? Let's just say that for a second.
Mhm.
So you're saying that you're the same as Jesus? Wow. You are narcissistic.
Well, I've heard Darth make that argument.
That's what the fuck you are.
Well, I think it's that once saved,
Jesus is
always
supposed
saved.
to be perfect and without sin, and cursing is a sin,
No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
isn't it?
No.
No,
Well, then those
it's
fuckers lied to me.
only if it's blasphemous.
I guess
There's no
Only
actual.
if you use God's name in vain.
Yeah,
I-
you see,
I
you
guess-
can't.
What about
Goddamn.
yodeling?
Like, goddamn is a sin. But
okay.
fuck,
You know,
we
I-
said
What
it
about
all.
I gotta
yodeling?
say,
Is yodeling a sin?
Yodeling
Only
is a
if you
sin.
use God in it.
No.
Yes,
Yodeling
should always be a sin.
is
talking
a
about
goddamn
cursing.
sin.
You're saying curse words are not a sin. Obviously, none of you have seen the South Park episode where they count the swear words in the corner and find all the curse words.
I saw it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then a dragon
That's
comes
great.
up later on or something like that.
They've even got the
Yeah,
M word
that's
in
great.
there. It's they're very thorough. They sure do their research well.
But Vanta
Touche,
Blue
Von
said
Rick.
something earlier about Otangelo's deal. Well, the thing of it is, they're in the mindset of a purity culture, and if you're simply a believer, that makes you more pure than anybody else. Therefore, you are justified to do the impure thing to the people you think are impure. You're justified to say, "Hey, you're less than me."
It's very judgmental.
Therefore,
You
I'm,
think?
I am
Well, yeah.
justified
But
as
to
an
them
That
To them,
Yeah,
it
point
falls
right
that's
there.
usually-
under
that's
the,
usually
under
the
category of,
mentality.
like,
That point right there, Randolph, is why it was the first thing I ever questioned. That.
Good.
The first
Excellent.
thing I ever thought when I was a kid, I think I was like 12 or something. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention much at church because I'm ADD. And then I started getting
Ah.
older and I started listening. So then
You're
I was
not-
like, wait a minute. Wait. You people judge each other all the time.
Hang on.
You're telling me that
Mhm.
only God can judge?
Gossipy.
Hypocrite.
You got to know something. ADD is not the only reason people don't pay attention in church.
That is bullshit. But anyway, the point
Some
is
people
I
are
had
just
trouble paying
tired.
attention.
That's where they can get some sleep.
Sometimes
just
we
never
fart on the
absorbed
pew,
any of
everybody
it.
laughs, and we sneak out.
I'm the only kid in my Catholic family that was never confirmed because I did not give a fuck about studying for that shit. I was like, what are they going to do to me? I'm studying for that crap.
No, my
Pressure
my
at all?
sister
Did
tried. My
anybody
sister
else
tried to
smoke
do
pot
that.
in the church bathroom?
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Kevin, what?
No.
What'd you
No, one
say?
time me and my buddy we were at a service and we lit up a doobie in the church bathroom. Oh yeah, they had a field day with us.
Oh, I bet.
Mm.
Okay,
you
now
got caught? You're not supposed to get caught.
Yeah. Dude, fan, window.
Okay,
Come on.
here's a story.
Must have had some
Who
good
was there
stuff.
When I was
For you.
11, I was in church. And I spent the entire week making sure I didn't sin, and I was repenting every night and praying and all this other stuff. We got into church, and I was just old enough to not be in Sunday school anymore, and I was in with the adults and stuff. Like I was like past 12 or something, or right around there. I was like 11 years old, and the preachers, he had everybody conned. Yeah, you need to repent for your sins and do this and do that, and everybody in that entire floor was on their knees and just crying and feeling guilty about themselves and just all kinds of shit. I'm just sitting there, hey, I'm good. I already went through this for an entire week. And this guy is standing up there. Well, I know a young boy, and he's looking straight at me. All right, there's a young boy out there who needs to repent for his sins, and he's guilty, and blah, blah. And he just kept right on mouthing off. And I said, you know what, you're a damn liar. And I got up and I walked out, and I walked a couple miles home because we lived in town. Then I got home, and just doing my regular thing, just playing with my Tonka, whatever I had, at that age. And then my parents got home, and don't you ever embarrass me like that again. So they started whipping me with the belt buckle. And it was about a week later than that they had an exorcism, and they held me down and burnt me with cigarettes and a hot poker, trying to get the demons out of me.
How did
With
that feel? That was
Holy
pillowcase
shit.
over my head.
that must have been pretty scary.
Oh,
No, I don't even get that. Here, watch
Oh.
this.
No, hang
We're
on. I
gonna
want to hear from
torture you
Randy
with
how he
these
felt.
devices, and we're gonna make you better.
How did that feel? Like, that was scary, but what kind of thoughts went through your mind when they were doing all that?
ultimate betrayal. The people who are supposed to be protecting you from
Your
stupidity
parents.
as a child.
Yeah.
Yes. For thick and through thin, they're supposed to love you and protect you, hold you down with the rest of the 6 or 7 people when you're 11 years old, and cover you up with sheets and stuff, and then start burning you and start praying over you and telling you that they're exorcising the demons out of you until you turn blue. Yeah, it's not only just ultimate betrayal.
I
That's
can't
abuse.
even.
It's one of the most
I can't even.
fear things
That's-
that you
that's
can even
I
part-
imagine.
remember
It's mental abuse. It's physical
one of the
abuse.
worst
Torture.
It's
It's a human rights
one of the
I'm
violation.
worst
sorry, Kevin,
punishments
I have to-
ever
have
received as
to-
a child. I got the cold shower. That really messed me up. For some reason, a cold shower
I-
was like, oh man.
Sorry, what was that, Randy?
I have to continue on. I was glad they abandoned me at 14. I was
Yeah,
glad I
right?
was on my own.
You're free from all that crap then.
Yeah, I tried to, they got a divorce, and I tried to emancipate myself, but I couldn't get them on any criminal charges or anything. So I couldn't do anything as a little adult. So basically, I was pretty much in between worlds and unwanted. My parents, neither one of them wanted me in their house, and
Wow.
I was living in the woods, and that's how I learned, you know, to read by candlelight and learn how to be a survivalist and all that shit. And that's why I did so good in special forces, because I lived it.
I'm sorry.
Winter
had to go
time,
So you
through all
went
that.
you went to the
whatever.
state authorities
Shit,
and they didn't do
Randy.
anything?
I'm sorry you had to go through all that. That just
Exactly.
Seriously.
Oh man. that
Exactly.
sucks.
And
sucks. Are
why?
your parents still alive?
And no, they died a few years ago. I mean, it's not like they didn't love me, but I mean, we came together years later and stuff, and they realized a few things, but
Good.
it was still, you know, it was still disconnected a little bit.
Oh yeah, big time.
Well, you're never.
you know,
you can't
I
build
came.
trust back after something like that. There's no doing that.
No,
Yeah.
they burn
Well, I
those
came
bridges.
home from. Here's a funny story. I came home from the military. I pulled up in my dad's driveway, and he pulled his 12 gauge out and freaking shot me in the shoulder. I
the
ducked
abuse
off to the
never
left
ends.
side. I'm like, Dad, it's me. And he's like, oh shit. Sorry, son. Come on in. You know, let's have some of this sacrificial wine. I know you like red wine. I'm like, oh,
Go to the hospital first.
Yeah, welcome to America.
Well, now that
it was
you shot
all
me,
right. He
I'll
had
have
tweezers.
some wine.
I picked the BBs out of my shoulder. I was just fine, man. I just got out of SF. I wasn't going to let that
Well,
little
he wasn't
shotgun
Sterling
hit me.
Archer then. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No,
Thing he
but-
aimed wide.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, but it was pretty funny. Anyways, I thought.
It's just BBs. That's a lot better. But man, if he hits the artery in the wrong way, you get air bubbles in your blood. That's not good. That could kill you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It actually takes a lot.
Well,
though.
when somebody's
You'd be
pointing a gun
surprised.
at you, you know how to twist and duck,
Yeah.
especially if you're military trained as advanced as I am.
As long as you're close enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, he's an old man and he's kind of slow and I saw it coming. So it's like, phew.
Oh, yeah.
But he was fast. He was like Clint Eastwood fast. He really was. I've never seen that man miss a target in his entire life, and neither have I.
Oh, that's
I learned
good.
it from him, but you know, still, you know,
Wow.
it's just kind of a shitty life. So
Wow.
here I am with these awards. Here, I don't know. Can I share a screen?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, B should be answering that. I'm just enthusiastic.
Yeah, Randolph. Calm down,
Sorry,
buddy.
B.
Wait a minute. Just for a minute. You stay over there, young man. I knew I was
Oh,
going to bring you
damn.
back
You're
to
the
be
first
laughing.
person to ever do this to me. Congratulations.
What? Nobody's ever kicked you before?
I don't have anything to
jokingly
share.
kicked me. No, nobody's ever done that before.
Oh, really? You
Somehow
guess you're
it's
too
been-
nice. Tough
Now I
shit.
feel like
Welcome
I'm
to
hurting
B's
you.
channel, baby.
Now I feel like I'm finally part of the club. Thank you.
I like to kick everybody at least once just to let them know who's in charge. No, I just winked. You just can't see it through my past my glasses. I'm kidding.
That's funny. Look forward to seeing your screen share, Randy.
I let people take over my shit all the time. Go ahead, talk. I don't give a fuck.
That was a
Sometimes
funny
I'm-
interaction we
sometimes
just
I-
had. That was hilarious.
Sometimes I come on and I really don't have anything to say that night, and I'll just like get Will or
I'm
somebody and just
sorry,
let them
you
go.
guys.
Oh, you're fine. Take your time.
I can't bring the screen up. I'm having a hard time. My file's changing and everything right now. Somebody stole all my pictures, and I'm having a hard time finding certain files. I don't know if
No, take your
I'll
time,
try to-
Randy. You're fine.
bring it up on my phone.
You're fine.
Where are you?
What I was going to say earlier was, you know, I think it's funny the other day we were discussing disciplining your kids, and you know, Will was like, I've never hit my child at all. And I was
Okay.
like, well, you know,
So,
my mom did
hang on.
such and such with us.
Randy's doing
Okay.
something. These
Yeah,
are
I
your
see
military, what you earned in the military?
Hold on.
Yeah, these are all special
Yeah,
forces
wrong button.
coins except for the one on the left where it says Thunderbolt. That was my artillery.
Okay.
Nice.
But the rest of them are World Headquarters, USASOC on Fort Bragg Special Forces head coins.
How long were you
Here,
enlisted?
I'm going to show you another one
Well, thanks for your service,
just
man.
for a few years. And here's the other side of them right there.
Oh wow.
You know, the one in the middle is from the Joint Chief of Staff, and that's where I was. I went to the White House with him and stuff, and you know, I did a speech at the White House. I had lunch
Wow.
there and everything. Al Gore invited me there,
Wow.
and I had sex with an officer in the van in the driveway of the White House.
Seriously?
I kind of don't doubt that, Randy.
Was that that's under the Clinton administration?
Tipper.
Huh?
What do you want to search for?
Oopsie daisy. I'm
That's how
sorry.
they roll.
Shut up, Alexa.
But
Tipper Gore didn't like it because she is a purist. Tipper Gore wanted all rock and roll banned because it wasn't Christian enough and everything. She is the one who had everything rated R and stuff like Twisted Sister and all that shit, and they went to Congress, you know, and she
Yeah,
didn't like
PMRC.
what the hell yeah, and it was like, okay, and then you know, Bill and Al, they thought it was funny.
So Will,
Specialist
sorry,
Maggie was
Randy.
getting one
Randy.
out there in the lawn.
So special forces, that's something you have to work your way up to, isn't it?
Yes, you have to earn the position.
Wow. Well, hey,
I
thanks
was
for
an
your
actual
service.
instructor. I was an
Even though I'm here-
instructor for
even though
people
I'm here in
coming
Canada.
into special forces.
Yeah.
I was
Even
a
though
survivalist and hand-to-hand and a weapons specialist.
Oh yeah, you had that naturally from very young, so that probably helped a lot. Here from even though I'm here from Canada, I say, hey, thanks for your service, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
real.
thanks for showing your
appreciate it.
medals,
Thank
too.
you very much.
Yeah, and thanks for showing your medals. That was interesting to see that.
Yeah, that's not all of them, but I got a bunch more, but I don't want to, you know.
Sure.
You-
That's
you-
fine.
You'd be surprised the bullshit they give you. for
Yeah, I
doing
don't know if
something
this
so
is-
stupid.
Going too far off topic, but we have some weird culture here in the U.S. surrounding military service, and like, I've actually tried to join the military, like the National Guard, on the local level recently, but I'm considered a draft dodger because I didn't sign up when I turned 18 with the system. So it's been like a really kind of complicated to navigate that, and a lot of my friends from high school who went and you know, people who are active in the military kind of look down on you in a way. I've seen a lot of that. I don't know if anybody else knows about that.
That sounds very black and white. It's unfortunate that people don't understand that you did try to join.
May I say something again?
That's the guy. That's our
Again,
government
with my
for you, Randolph.
experience,
It's all
I'm
black
sorry.
and white. There's no gray area anywhere. Go ahead, Randy.
I had to sign a medical waiver to get in because when I was 18, I had like a pineal cyst right on my tailbone, and actually I had 3 of them. You know, I went septic, all kinds of shit, and I couldn't walk for about 3 years. And I had to teach myself how to walk again and everything, and my flesh was pretty much rotting off of me, and I had a hell of a time. I had to go to a relative's house and have them take care of me.
Wow.
Thank goodness. And then little by little, I taught myself how to walk and then jog and et cetera, et cetera. I actually turned out to be one of the Army's best runners, and you know, so far as I can go all damn day long, run as fast as a deer. Anyways, I had to sign a medical waiver saying that I can get in there. And then when I did, you know, and then the sky was the limit. But I was competing. I went in at 27. I was competing with guys 10 years younger than me. And
Yep.
they just couldn't promote me fast enough. But the problem was that I was 10 years older than they was. And I had a lot of hard times. I had a lot of jealous sergeants and everything, just trying to stifle everything.
Oh yeah,
that
you'll
I
have
did.
that.
So, you know, so I mean, yeah, just trying to get you in trouble, just making shit up just so you can be in trouble. You know, and
Different
it
on
was
the
just a pain in
battlefield,
the
though.
ass.
Yeah. You know, I hear this, what
Yeah.
you're saying about you went out of your way, even with a serious medical condition, to do that. That's far more serious than bone spurs. And Mr. Orange, ex-president there,
Thank you for throwing the X in there. Thank you.
yeah, he's like, he had bone spurs, so he didn't go. It sounds like such a minor complaint for him. And what you've done truly puts it in perspective is yeah, that is really a minor thing compared to what people are actually.
I have the right to be. I have a right to serve my country, and I have a right to be a man. Ain't nobody gonna hold me back. Kiss my ass.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, or like there are other situations. Like with me, it was a mental health condition I was going through. You know, I don't want to like sit here and make excuses, but you know, I was like, hey, you don't want to put a gun in my hands, you know, right now. That's not a good idea. You know, but to some people, that's like, I don't know. It's weird when you're honest about that type of stuff, and they still kind of scorn you for it, you know.
Yes,
Wow.
Fanta, it is left over from World War II because so many men were killed. They were afraid that families would not continue. Yes, that's what started that.
Oh.
Here's a little bit more on my background. My dad was the youngest of 14, and the rest of them were World War II and Vietnam and Korean vets. I was raised around all these people, and ever since I was born, this is what I was trained to do. I was a butcher of the family on the farm when I was 6 years old. Hogs, chickens, goats, you name it.
I believe it.
Butchered them up in seconds. And I was only 6 years old. I was just now in kindergarten, and I knew what every organ was. And, you know, I did pretty darn good when I was in. But the thing of it was what really got me the most was in my stay. I don't know if you guys know what a heavy drop is with a Chinook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, B knows. When you get the big 3 parachutes going, and they pop
Yes.
out the back, and then a howitzer or tank or whatever comes out the back and lands. Well, that's
Yep.
what I was
They have
doing.
rollers. They have rollers in the back so they can roll it out. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's what we were doing. Except for it was here. Give me just a second, and I'll show you a picture of what I did. Go ahead and speak if you wish.
Randy, were you ever on the battlefield? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go get that.
Randolph, I was wondering, have you done service too?
No.
Okay.
We didn't have a draft here, and I just there wasn't really hardly any recruitment going on here, so I didn't. I was into computers and other things, and most of the people I know haven't served. Most of the people here in Canada haven't, as far as I know.
Got you. Well, I know you guys had significant role in the recent Afghan wars
lots of
and
people
stuff.
volunteered for that. Yeah.
I think we're the only 2 non-vets here, if I'm correct. I may be.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they do. Point
This
it the other way, Randy.
That's a howitzer. What other way?
Angle it. There you go, right there.
Okay, yeah, because it's reflecting funny. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got your screen a little bit there, but
yeah. So they roll it out the back.
Yeah.
They roll stuff out of the back, and it'll be on like there's sometimes it's pallets of stuff. But yeah, that's how they do it. Nice.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Congratulations.
One of those choppers that it was the last one in line. There was only like 3 of them when we were going to do a heavy lift like that, and for some strange ass reason, the pilot wasn't all there. I think he was on drugs or something, but they'll all line up and everything. And, you got your howitzers and everything all at another end. They jump up, and then go and, somebody's there to hook up, and then they pick them up and, et cetera. Well, I was part of the crew that was going to get right on the chopper itself. Well, in order to signal you, they got the back window there, and they got these big old bubble windows like this, and they shine the flashlight out there like this at you like 3 times, and then you go running towards the thing, and you run in the back. Well, this damn thing, we're headed out there, and we're running towards this damn thing. And pretty soon it just, I mean, we're almost there, and it just picks up like this, and then just tilts and starts coming at us just like this. So I grabbed my first sergeant on one hand and my lieutenant on the other, and I said, "Run, motherfucker!" And we just took off running, and then I shoved them in the rest of my section and everything, and they landed in the tree line, and I turned around and went back out there. By then, the chopper was on fire. The load master and the assistant was in the back on fire. The assistant was dead. I jumped in the side
Damn.
door, and I threw them out the side door, and they landed on the bottom of the chopper on the side, and the rear engine was on fire, and it was inside the cab, and it was burning the shit out of them.
This is on the battlefield.
Then I went up front. No, this is on Fort Bragg in training.
Oh, have
Then I went up
you
front
been
and
on
unhooked
the battlefield?
the pilot, and he was just laughing his ass off. No, I have not. He was laughing his ass off, and it's like, oh my god, this guy's Looney Tunes or whatever. Finds out, he was on drugs and shit, so he couldn't fly to save his life or anybody else's.
Oh my God.
So I unhook him and everything, and I toss his body out and thump it off to the side, and I was pissed, and I just, tossed him off the side. He's just laying there, ha ha, and then I jumped off and everything out the back, and my first sergeant looking at me, he's like, "Magley, get down." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's done." And he's like, "No, get down, you're on fire." So I looked over at my left side, and my left side was on fire, and I had jet fuel soaked inside my BDUs and burnt, not too much, but a little bit of my arm and my rib cage and stuff like that.
Oh,
And then,
dude.
So then it was.
I guess, have you been in battle, and how does that compare? I guess battle's still worse. Yeah.
No, I haven't, but I've trained thousands. In fact, Fort Benning has a sign out there. We do it the Magley way.
Nice.
That's Special Forces round robin training. My name on it. When you walk
Nice.
into the joint, my name is on it.
Great. That must feel good.
Theo wants to know
Or at
if you
least
have a lot
that's
of
what was on
scarring.
Facebook. But
Theo wants to know
Yes,
if you have a lot of
all
scarring
over,
from
and
the
I-
burns.
So, Kevin,
yes,
to
and
answer your question earlier,
I don't want to discuss
if there
it.
was a need
Hold
for
on,
service,
hold on, Randolph. Hold on.
I would definitely sign up.
Say that again, Randy. About the scars.
I do not want to show anybody and take my shirt off. I got scars all over my body my whole goddamn life, and I'm not going to show you.
No, he just didn't know if it scarred bad or not from the burns.
No, not from the burns. No, it was just like a hair thing. Just superficial,
Oh,
temporary thing from the burns and everything.
good. Burns are so
but
painful.
I was standing out in front of a 3-star general about a week later, and I was washing the vehicles, and I was working my ass off, and I didn't even know there was a formation taking place, but it was a special formation, and nobody came and got me. I was around the corner, on the motor pool, washing my damn truck. And I looked over and I'm like, holy shit, there's a formation going on. So I, shut the hose off and everything. I come running around, and I hear this general, Specialist Magley. Uh-oh. So I said, "Sergeant, may I break rank?" And he's like, "Yes, get your ass up there." So I backed out, broke rank, got up there in front of the general. "Sir, Specialist Magley reporting for duty." And he said, "Stand." And so I stood at attention, and he pinned a presidential citation on me. He says
Nice.
that in accordance to President Bill Clinton, who could not make it here today, I'm speaking on his behalf. This is a citation for going above and beyond the call of duty and saving people's lives without what the fuck ever he said. I don't know what the fuck he said. I didn't give a
With
shit.
no disregard for your own, is what they say.
It was fucking
Or
stupid.
no regard for your own. Disregard for your own. Something like that.
stupidest fucking thing shouldn't have never happened to goddamn begin with. And here, you know, people died because of this shit. And here I am accepting this fucking blue fucking thing going on. But I'm sorry, I'm going to hit mute.
Well, yeah, war is always a tragedy, but that's a great story. I mean, I think Clinton was good for that. At least the acknowledgement from your countrymen that you've done the service for them,
You had their
regardless of the circumstances.
And you had their backs, and they know it, and that's a big thing. That's important in the teamwork. Kevin, you were asking me earlier if I'd ever served, and no, if it was needed, I sure would sign up, but. I guess I'm older now, so it would be harder for me to get through basic training than, say, 20 years ago. But I'd still do it. If it was needed, I would do it.
Yeah, and military service is more of a bronze before brains type of thing. You're definitely better suited when you're younger. I think I was probably less fit to do it when I was 18 or 20 years old. But at the same time, yeah, I was probably physically stronger. So there's that whole kind of, I don't know. It's strange.
I did
Well,
look
that's kind of where
into-
I got lucky, was coming from right off the farm. And I was like in the best shape.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going into basic training and not being in good shape. It was hard enough when you're in good shape.
See, if it was needed, I'd be hitting the gym every day and getting myself fit before basic training to make it easier to get through basic training.
Oh yeah, that's what most people do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, even if you're just like regular guy trying to, versus somebody that worked hard their entire childhood, you're gonna have an advantage there. And it's rough, man. They'll kick your ass.
I did look into joining RCMP Auxiliary, which is you're like a police officer, but you're auxiliary. You're not full time, and it's volunteer.
Right.
So I wouldn't have to go to Regina for the basic training. I kind of learn as I go, and they put you in events where full police training isn't necessary. I ended up turning it down because the regulations had just changed, where auxiliary RCMP officers have no small arms. They got rid of their guns, and
right.
So and I said to the RCMP, I said, and they were curious why, and I told them, like, why would you want a gun? I said, and I right off the bat, I said it wouldn't even have to be loaded. But the thing is, from a street smarts perspective, if you're in a police uniform and you're not armed, the kind of people who are going to cause a problem for you are the kind of people who are going to notice something like that. And it makes it more dangerous. And it's that way. To me, it's a safety issue. So no. And they said to me, that's a good reason, and they agree. And he said most of the time people just want it because they have some feeble excuse, like, oh, the uniform's incomplete or something like that. And this is they said this is a reason that rarely comes up, but it's the right one. So
that's interesting. Because I'm still a security guard here in California, in the States here. We have a really weird set of laws regarding security officers, which sounds kind of like what you're talking about. We can be licensed to carry a taser or a firearm in particular circumstances, and it costs us a good deal of money because we're independent contractors. But under the laws of the state and the regulations of most companies, we're pretty much never allowed to deploy our firearm or a taser. In 99.9% of circumstances, you're not allowed to do it. It's like, why would you even have it? It doesn't make a lot of sense, and the law is really strict. You can lose your job and your state license if you do not properly deploy that, which I think is a good thing. But at the same time, it's I don't know. It kind of takes away the incentive to even be in that position, right?
See, you're in an environment where in your country there's a lot of people carrying guns, and the laws change from state to state, which adds even further complexity. And it sounds like maybe these are just a whole bunch of band-aid solutions added to the regulations that had made it very complex. Here in Canada, no security people carry guns. It's just not allowed. It's police, or if you're an armed guard carrying money, and I think marijuana is going to get added to that list soon, and valuable stuff like that. But these are very specific kind of circumstances, or if you're military. Otherwise, you're under very heavy, strict licensing regulations for having firearms. You can't just carry them around.
Right.
So-
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
a whole
just-
different ball of wax there.
So
For sure.
when I see security guards in the U.S. carrying guns, I'm thinking, are they police? Is my first reaction. No, they're not. They're just security guards.
No, they are only security guards, although they do have to go through a certain amount of firearms training. Not
don't have that
enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not enough. But for instance, it depends. It depends on what state you're in. The previous state I lived in, it was very easy to get a permit to carry. Easier than to get a concealed carry, of course.
Mhm.
And here, it's a program you have to go through for months.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great. It's also expensive. Because I thought, I could come over here. I'm looking for a job. I'll just get a security job position. Nope. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to get a guard card and go through a couple months of training for that. And then you have to get certified to carry a weapon.
So
And
here in
there's 3
Canada,
months
if
of
you
training
do-
for that. And by the
if you-
time it's all said and done, you got to spend like $600-$700. So I don't
So
know who's got
Yeah,
that
it's
money.
very
who needs
very
a job.
similar here. Yeah.
But then they want to pay you like $13 an hour.
So here in Canada, they being security guard is just, there's no guns. It's just not an option. But there's if you want to own a gun here, then you have to, part of the regulations, you need to tell the police ahead of time where you're going to take that gun and what route you're going to take to get there and back, and what the alternate routes are along the way in case something happens on the main route. And it all has to be figured out ahead of time. And if you deviate from this route and you get caught, your gun will get confiscated and you will be fined, and you could lose your license to own a firearm after that. So it's
Yeah.
very strict here, and people have lost that way. The other thing is, to get that license in the first place, there's a whole bunch of background checks. There's a psychological assessment, and there's other things that you have to go through. And the people here who are pro-gun tend to be gun freedom. I mean, are very much against this. There aren't very many people, though. It tends to be more lax out in the country with the rifle, but in the city, this is very strictly enforced. And
Right.
then there's I've met a few people over the years. Most of them I don't even know, but they complained bitterly about how they could not they couldn't pass the psychological testing assessment, or for whatever reason they had something in their background, they couldn't get a gun. And when I think back on it, those people who complain bitterly about it are people who usually have a pretty bad temper anyway, or are very unreasonable. There's something that I'm thinking, it's good that they don't have guns. I think the right decision was made on those in retrospect when I look back on it. So it's interesting because they're, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that it works, because that's what I'm seeing is the ones who complain about failing those tests, the background checks or the psychological assessment or whatever, to get that, are ones who complain bitterly about it, and they express anger and hatred and all this kind of irrational emotions when they do. So
Right.
looks like the right decision to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And I know
Well,
people who have license and they're not like that at all. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it really, that's the problem we have here is, I think if anybody has ever been medically evaluated, the people selling them weapons should have access to the fact that they have some kind of serious mental issue.
actually, the way it should be
I think
done
they
is
should
like
be- I think they should be flagged and know that you can't sell them the gun.
well,
That's it.
here, if you don't have that license, then and proof of how you're going to take it from the store to your home and all that stuff planned out, they won't sell it to you. That's how it is here. You can't just go in and pick it up from the store. So, why not just do it that way there? Oh, that's right. Gun freedom, NRA. Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't allow
Get me
that.
started.
Yeah, they'll do it. Like, I think as Purple Rhymes with Orange was comparing recently about how it was all these interesting requirements, including training and whatnot, go through for getting a driver's license, but not a small arm. And it's interesting because a motor vehicle can also be a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
that varies state by state. I mean, we do have to do some firearm training here in California. I know other states have those laws in place.
Yeah.
So it's something we have to work on at the federal level, I guess.
Agreed. Well, guys, I'm going to cut this off here in a minute because, I have like a real everyday job
A
now.
job?
This was
Oh, no, I had a job before. It just wasn't full time. So I had more wiggle room,
Right.
Yes.
well. Thanks for sending me the link, inviting me on
No,
here.
it's a must.
We talked about things. I missed the equality part earlier, but it was a very interesting conversation. And
Well,
Randy,
we
Oh,
just
yeah, my
kind of.
husband asked me what the stream was about, and I'm like, equality?
Well, it kind of. That's why I put on there equality and politics and world issues, because we end up kind of talking about all of it, and it all kind of is intermingled anyway. So I don't know. Unless someone comes to me and says, "Hey, I have this specific topic I want to talk about," then we will talk about that topic, and when that has faded out, we'll go into whatever, let it segue into whatever naturally. But
I am going to share one quote on equality.
Most people just want to come on here and talk about a variety of stuff. So if you give one topic, then they're like, "That's not the topic I want to talk about," So I hate to narrow it down like that.
I'd like to share one quote on equality I saw years ago. It's from somebody named Timothy Leary, and he said, "Women who seek to be equal with men lack ambition."
What?
Women who seek to be equal
Oh, okay, I
with
get
men
it.
lack
I get
ambition.
it.
Yeah, why such a
Good
low
one.
bar?
Good one.
Why
Got
such
it.
a low bar?
Yeah.
It's true.
I've always thought that's a good quote to remember. I've kept in my list of quotes. So,
Well, both male and female
That's
and
a great
everybody in between, some have their strengths and some have their weaknesses, and that's just the way it is. Just like there's an asshole in every group. It's just the way it is. It doesn't have anything to do with your ethnic background, skin color, race, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. In every group, there's an asshole.
See, I keep telling you to talk about me behind my back.
Oh, you're not the one I was talking about.
I want to say with that, there's a great saying I remember from when I was younger in alcohol. If there's more than one or two assholes in your day, you're probably the asshole. So.
Yes. You are common denominator, man. Common denominator. So I do want to
That's not what I heard
say.
when I was a kid.
I do want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for coming. I appreciate all of you guys. Love you all. Everybody on the panel, thank you for coming tonight and having a good discussion. And Randy, thank you for opening up. It gives us a little bit more insight into who you are, and we all like to learn about each other. So
I just saw your
amazing.
comment, Randy, in the chat that 104 of 108 people you served with had didn't make it. My condolences to you. That's a lot of people to miss.
Yeah, for real. It's really fucked up. But no, don't apologize for anything. Poor Randy. Sometimes things are too hard to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody, thank you for coming. Everybody, thank you for being kind to one another. I always see that with the people that come into my chat and onto my panel, and I appreciate every single one of you for it.
Yeah.
Everybody, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another.
Bye,
And
all.
have peace in your lives.